you should be forced to inoculate your kids.
In that, they're going to give you a fucking shot where your dick's fucked up now, from now on.
You know, our video started with that now. Just what you just said will likely be the very first words that are on this video when you go to YouTube.
Oh,
Excellent.
Look at that, Eric.
Yeah, but you can't let
somehow
them...
Big government failing you already.
You can't let them take you.
Vooter's first.
Oh, what's up, Woot? You know, what are you going to do? Let them give you... They're requiring it.
Well, they should.
You know what I mean? What happened to being free?
Well, I know. You know me. I'm always for freedom, but this one's tough because the kid can't make up his mind. But I'm not sure, like, if you don't give, I mean, what are the ramifications?
We're not talking about the kid. We're talking about the parents.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Would you take the kid away from the parents if they didn't do it? That's kind of hard.
Right. Well, the kid
I'm not sure I would do that.
The kid cannot get into school.
End of the day, it's
right.
the same as everything
well,
else.
it's the same thing with lice. I mean, your kid can't get to school if they have head lice.
Complete civil liberty is nothing less than complete civil liberty should be allowed. You should be allowed not to fucking do that to your kids if you don't want to. We should hope that our society will grow to the point where people want to. But until then, let them weed it out.
Well, you got lunatics like T over there who thinks it causes autism.
Oh,
Autism.
Yeah, your pronunciation.
Autism, guys.
Autism.
Aura. Autism.
Uh-oh.
I believe
That's
it
how
is
the
pronounced
English language.
autism. It's not
That's how the English language works, guys.
I think the Greek.
Let
is,
me tell you how the English language works.
Yeah,
Look
right.
at me.
H.L. Mencken.
I am
over
an
here.
expert.
Yeah.
On the English language.
Merriam-Webster.
I have a powerful grasp on it.
But yeah, I don't
The
think the
language
argument.
of
Your
English.
grasp is slipping.
I do. I don't think the argument is whether or not they hurt you. I think the argument is whether you're forced to
Well,
do
this is
it.
the death of science. So let's discuss. Does it cause autism? And I would say categorically no. The preservatives don't.
Hey.
And the you know
You
some.
got? Have you poured over the data?
Yes, I've written. I haven't written,
poured
but
over
I've
the
read.
data, you know
read
the
the
figures.
studies. Yes.
You've met the people who've written them and vetted them.
I read the
So the
study that
mercury-
initiated all. It was a flawed study.
So the mercury in the thimerosal is
Nonsense.
that's okay. So explain it to me. Then is because you can change my mind.
It was supposed to initiate some sort of immune response from what I gathered, that's what causes the autism.
It's autism. I'm just messing
Yeah,
with
right.
you.
So
It's
vaccines,
Far
that,
Eastern.
right?
So then
Good.
vaccines.
I'm glad that you know that a troll is
Vaccines.
trolling
the
here.
mongoloid pronunciation.
So then
It's a
vaccines used to be able to
pre-show.
have the
And then they
ability
took it
to
out.
cause autism.
Yeah, and the thing
Okay,
is,
so you're saying
they took
now
out a lot
they
of the
don't.
mercury and the
Okay.
preservatives, and there was no rise in any of the levels of the autism in children. So that de facto
No
tells you.
rise, right? Was there a
Right.
drop?
No, it's the same. But you can't link it. I mean, it's very small anyway. I'm
So,
not sure-
there's a
I'm
chance.
not sure that-
Wait. So there's a chance.
No, there's no chance.
There's absolutely zero
They took
chance.
out all the purported
Do you think-
mercury and preservatives, etc., that were supposed to cause this, and there was no rise or fall in the number of autism cases, which tells you
What's it tell you?
that it's not the cause.
What is the cause?
There is no. It may just be
completely
random.
made up.
It
It's
just
just
be
made up.
a random fact that some kids get autism.
Yeah, it's just something that came up.
It has nothing to do with that.
Right. No, I hear it. That's
Right.
why I'm asking.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Just like
'cause that's
global
what we're trying
warming.
to
Let's
get
bring
to
it up
today.
right now.
That's well.
The climate may be
we
getting
better
warmer,
save
but that may
one.
has nothing to do with CO2. Nothing.
Oh man, this one's gonna be good.
Yeah,
this
you're
one's
getting
gonna
me
be
mad
good.
already.
Y'all
Yeah,
better
thanks,
strap
Bob.
your seatbelts in, buddies.
That's right.
'Cause, it's on
Yeah,
today.
you better.
Yeah.
We ain't fucking
Tracy's
around.
back.
Everybody turn down your
Backyard.
volume. I'm going to get pissed today. I'm going to be screaming. So I
Some
just
free
anybody with
advertising right
earphones
here.
on.
Well, Armand knows more than any of us.
No,
that's for sure.
I'm more passionate than any of
I'm
you.
more here to
I
troll
I lost my voice
Armand.
yesterday yelling about arguing with you guys.
still your
Global
lighter up?
warming and all that stuff.
Global
You talk about
warming.
global
Did
warming.
you read
on the
that
show
paper?
yet? Oh, no,
yeah.
I have not.
Oh, yeah,
Here's
we
the-
had a show
here's
on
the
it.
issue. Here's the
Hang
issue
on,
with that
guys, hang
paper.
on.
Yes.
We can start this shit up real
People
quick.
say
Okay, wait a
it's
minute,
very
wait
dubious
Hang on.
facts.
Hold
So
it.
have you?
Hold it for the show.
Okay, so what's the reason for the rise?
King of the castle.
There is no rise in the oceans. Absolutely, or rise in temperature.
Hang on.
I'm just
Armand's
addressing our
gotta
audience.
Armand's starting the show out with the global warming. He's
You
hype
know,
right
I mean,
now.
that is the
We
death
gotta
of
fire it up.
science.
I stole your lighter balls up right here. Ready?
Drugs, pay-
And I need a squirt of that.
What about how? What is it? Yellow
Mine
5
did.
destroys your sperm so that Everett can't have kids again.
He hopes so.
He's hoping for that.
Yeah, I'll take some
every
too.
day. Is it yellow 5 or was it yellow 2? I forgot.
I don't know which one it is.
15 was it? 50?
I'd like to kill some of my sperm. Not that I've used
I made
it.
that up to sidetrack your conversation.
Right.
My balls are not open for discussion.
All
And
right.
their-
Boy, this is
and
going to
their
be
inner
a
workings.
hotly
Your
debated
gonads
show.
are off the game.
Yeah, gonads are out of
It's not mad. It's not bad when you've got a pre-existing flavor in your mouth that you're trying to wash out.
Why do we go from talking about my balls to the pre-existing flavor in your mouth?
Ooh.
That because I was eating these sunflower seed kernels, and then I took a fat drink of Mountain Dew, and like
That's an interesting. Did you
Diet
see what
Mountain Dew.
Timothy said there? Yeah, that neural tube disorder. That could be a defect in the womb. I'll go along with that.
I think we're all too
Yeah,
drunk.
you
I
bet
think
your ass. I'm from the government, making sure none of this bullshit gets out.
He's
Gotta
from New
keep,
York. I think Harlem.
that's
From
right,
Harlem?
Marlboro Life.
Harlem Warlem.
Yeah. I used to smoke Reds for 15 years, man. Leave me alone. What do you want
I'm
me to do,
from
get
an
cancer?
organization
I'm trying to cut it
called the Yellow in Black.
down. Brandon.
The yellow
And,
peril. That's
yeah.
what you would have been.
Wooter said the
100 something
stream's
years
already
ago.
Yellow and black,
triggering
making
his
sure.
diabetes.
They look cool.
Making
Yeah,
sure
I'm with
China
it.
has a grasp on the America for generations to come.
Where's Marissa tonight?
Do you believe that?
You leave Marissa out of this.
You don't want to ask me that question.
I'm gonna drive down to
Don't ask me that
Tennessee.
question, Eric. Don't
you
look at me
believe
like that.
She's one of our
Oh god! Don't look at me like that.
oldest and greatest.
Don't look at me like that,
what'd you
Eric.
say?
You might get the truth out of me.
I'm with it. I'm ready. I'd love to talk
We're
about
here.
how China can rule America.
Oh,
Never.
Let's be honest
Ooh.
here. Let's be honest
You
here.
ever seen Red Dawn?
They're just
Yeah,
more
bud.
of us than you guys.
Check 1, 2.
That's
Yes.
all right. The
We're not
height
drinking
and-
Mountain Dew and getting
There's
that yellow
more
50
mass.
in
This
our
is
balls.
Huh?
yes.
We're
This
not
is
drinking Mountain Dew.
pretty
It's
well
destroying
leveled.
our sperm.
What are you
we're
drinking?
producing. We drink tea. It's
Suck
very
it.
good for your health. Very
Tea?
good for
I'm gonna print out the
copulation.
Do you smoke opium?
Long times. of
print out a couple
copulation.
copies of this.
I
shit real
have.
quick. Then we can start the
I'm-
show here.
I'm
in a few.
asking.
Oh,
Did I smoke? No.
Oh,
this
this
is
is gonna be a
just.
shit
Do they
show.
have opium dens over there?
What a
Do
shit
they?
show.
I think it's.
Wait,
at
I'm
some
sorry, T.
point.
I don't mean this in offense, but where are you from?
I'm from.
New York.
Yeah, this guy. What? He's not.
I'm from New York.
You act like he's from
From-
Beijing or the Forbidden
but
City
I'm
or
from
something.
Arkansas.
Yeah, there you
Arkansas.
go. Right. Fu
Sorry,
Manchu
no, I'm-
from Little Rock.
Oh God, your age is not good for that, man. Oh man. Oh man.
You ever see those Fu Manchu movies with
Oh,
Christopher
it's
Lee?
Terrifying.
He's great.
It's so fucked up, man. Come on,
Yeah,
that's
the Yellow
messed
Peril.
up.
That was
Messed
a
up,
big.
man.
That was a big fear in the early 20th century that the
absolutely.
Chinese are
Absolutely.
very afraid. You know, they all wanted to rape white women and
Yeah,
stuff. Boy,
we're good at it too.
that's where Fu
Send them
Manchu
to the
came
hell
from.
of the upside
No,
down
but
sinners.
here's the crazy thing, right? We're
That's
the
the Chinese.
only race
Chinese have lots of
to have been
hells.
banned from the United States. There's the actual ban,
He had
1916
never seen that
ban.
movie.
What?
You know, we're the only race to have gotten banned.
We put Japanese in internment camps during the World War.
But you guys never got. There's never a law that banned you guys from.
There's
Yeah, the
never a law
Chinese
that banned the
people from coming
Chinese and
into-
Japanese people. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well,
but
they
China
were
had
brought
the
here to work on the
anti-railroad.
railroads.
Yeah. So what was the issue here? I don't understand.
Well, once
don't
they
know,
were
yellow-
exposed to them, they
yellow
said, "To hell
fever.
with this. We don't want any
Yeah.
more of these guys.
Too
Why?
smart,
What's
too
wrong?
fast, fucks
Right.
too good. You know.
Oh, is that what it was?
Too good. They're better than our kids at
Better at
math.
gymnastics. You know.
They're
yeah.
better
Oh,
pianists.
man.
Not driving though. There's no
No,
NASCAR in
there's-
China.
That's what I came to the Midwest for. I'm here to science it all up.
Hell yeah. Well, let's do it. Let's start this shit up.
Let's hear the
Yeah.
cue the music.
Are we sure we're good?
I mean, yeah.
I gotta go grab the sheets I just printed. But other than that,
Shits.
Oh, we got some
Sheets, sir.
sheets.
Sheets.
All
We're
right.
all
Not those.
prepared.
3 sheets to the wind.
About 30 minutes ago.
Low T. T count.
Already triggering my diabetes.
Yes.
Diabetes.
That's great.
Hello,
Walter.
Yeah,
everyone.
they have
That's
some
amazing.
really witty. Their listeners are great.
They are
Yeah, these guys are-
great.
But I miss Marissa. Where is she?
I don't know. We'll have to tell
What
her
is
to
it
She has
with
a
shut
you
up.
crush.
and
She
your
has a crush on.
testosterone,
She has a
man?
crush on me.
Have you never? You should reach out to Melissa.
I did. I was going to drive
No
down
response?
to Tennessee and see her.
Oh, see her.
She
Yes.
put something in there.
More
about
like
old hot
feel
Armand.
her.
Yes. Marissa has very good taste in men. Something about me. I think she smells my pheromones.
Oh man. Maybe she smells something else, dude.
There's another pretty girl on here that listens. Who's the other one? She's pretty hot.
All of our
Stop hitting
listeners
on
are
our
beautiful.
listeners.
Yeah, but they're guys.
They're beautiful too. They're beautiful on the inside.
Stop hitting on our listeners, Armand.
I,
You've been warned.
Crossing a
You've
line.
been warned.
oh,
We're very protective of it. Good for you.
You guys ever think about doing like a meet and greet with all your viewers, sign some
Hey, I think that-
autographs,
maybe
get
that'll
some
be a-
blowjobs, I
maybe
don't
that
know.
ought to be a
we are not-
podcast
women.
I do.
What?
You know, win a date with Armand. What do you think?
I'll help you. I could be the guy that introduces you.
I gotta get a girl on. I gotta be honest with you, Armand. That's not a bad.
Welcome to Armand's Sweatbox. So get on in here, ladies, and we're gonna introduce you to our main man, Mr. Kachigian.
That's right.
And smell his pheromones.
So the curtains come
Whip
open.
it up, ladies.
Curtains come open.
And
There's
wet your
Armand.
panties.
There's
Because
like smoke
Armand's
on
in
the
the
floor.
house.
No reasonable offer refused. Even a cute
give
guy.
me some roar from the crowd.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Armand walks
We're
in.
open to everything.
Sits in a
Because
big
we got to
red
remain
velvet
liberal
seat.
for everyone. That's what the show's about.
Armand's
guys.
glory hole.
Government conspiracy.
There it
That's
is.
the name. That's the title, right? What do you guys think?
The only viewer will
It's
be
the only
me,
way I'll ever
Armand.
get
That's
laid.
the secret.
Everybody agree with that? Brandon, Wooter. I think it's Wooter, right? It would probably be.
I call him Woot.
No, but W has to be pronounced V, though, right? Wooter van Putin. Because the V is F.
We have
and
to
W
win
is
her.
V.
Meet and greet. That's great.
I mean, did you just assume their alphabet?
Well, it's Dutch. He's got to be Dutch. Right?
I don't know. I mean, he's Wooter. I didn't ask him. That's his
You're
business.
mispronouncing his name.
Maybe he'll let us know. He did tell us one day. I can't remember what it is.
Candy Candy Van.
There it is. That's the name of the show. Armand's Candy Van.
Not bad.
Come here,
not
little
bad.
kid. You want a piece of gum? Mm-hmm.
Hey, little girl, you want a piece of candy? Hey, I went out. I dated this gal in California when I got there, and she told me. Now, this is.
Uh-oh,
I
here we
don't
go.
want to cast aspersions on a Star Trek guy, but she told me when she was like 12 years old, she's a pretty good-looking gal, and she'd ride her bike, nicer part of L.A. or whatever.
If this is a graphic story, you have to stop
It's
now.
not graphic. It's just it's kind of an innuendo that this guy always used to invite her. This grown man always used to invite her into his house to have lemonade, and she said no because her dad said it was William Shatner.
Who do you think he's a perv?
To invite her in
I don't know.
for
I don't know.
lemonade?
Don't you say another kind of word
You
about
went
that.
down to the copy machine, and he's already accusing William Shatner of pedophilia.
That's all I said. He just invited her in for lemonade.
Armand's on
That's
one
all.
today,
It's
people.
not the right thing. I printed the wrong thing. Give it back.
Oh,
So
my.
Oh, yeah.
we'll rename
That's my meeting notes for UGC.
rename the episode "The Death of Star Trek."
Come on,
man.
Eric.
I'm a piece of shit.
Oh, there's some serious innuendo happening over
What's
here.
Mel's hole?
Great,
Mel's hole's
like
like a fucking
Marissa,
scientific, or no, it's like a conspiracy thing where
Hey, we got to get out of here before
a big old
5:07. Isn't that the Kentucky Derby time?
I don't know.
Yeah, Kentucky Derby's today.
bottomless pit, baby.
Woot says
Candy
Wouter. Hey, he says W is no V. It's Wouter.
Wouter. Oh, I'll be damned. Okay.
Wouter.
My error. Sorry.
Wow.
See, but in German, I guess Dutch isn't the same. German, the W is pronounced V.
Oh,
Like Werner von Braun.
right. Well, no, I
That's
get you.
German.
but
He's Dutch. So I guess, okay, W is no V. I
we
stand
have
corrected.
we have a listener from Estonia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does he live in, what's the capital? Is that
That's wild.
Tallinn?
Oh fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, Tallinn. I usually, it's already a 9 out of 10. Wow.
Nice, thank you.
Jeez. Let's
Miss-
wrap it
Miss-
up. That's
is
good
that
enough
a
for me. Let's
mustache?
get out of
Is that-
here.
Is that a
I
mustache?
guess
Photo
the show's done. We got the ratings. We're approved for another season. Does this run by season, guys? or
Everett's
what's
already
happening?
printed the wrong. No,
What was
there's
it?
no
Yeah, what did
season.
he hand out there? What was that?
That was our meeting notes from Friday.
Oh, that's helpful.
That's a good idea. Armand Photoshop. You should Photoshop
That's not a bad.
onto Mel's hole, but you should put Mel's hole. Like,
Who does all
right
your
where his
Photoshop?
crotch
He
is.
makes you look good. I want that
Brian
guy.
Rodriguez.
Okay, I want
Shout
him
out
to do
Brian.
a nice picture of me so I can put
Are
it on
your pictures-
Match.com.
Are your pictures available? What?
Well,
Wait.
can he take it off the? Can he
Armand.
take it off the video?
Armand,
in
you
that?
don't just step outside and just pussy just gets on you.
Hell
it just,
no, are you kidding?
Just comes flying.
Just gay
that
guys.
doesn't happen.
Gay guys. That's all I get.
God,
That's
I
a-
am sorry. to
I don't
everybody.
believe that, Armand.
This is the last time we have guests. Sorry.
Ryan's here from Houston. I picture JFK.
Houston.
Oh, looks
Is
like
this
we
the
read
right
the
thing?
same Wikipedia,
Oh, wow.
guys.
All right.
Okay, so maybe I only
Okay.
got the first page.
Yeah, I got a blank here.
This is not my day, man.
Oh, you pre-gamed, didn't you?
It has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it at all. I'm just a big,
I'm in
big
shitty
piece of
ass
shit.
New York. Well, sorry, Joe, for being in New York. I've never
That's your town, T.
never been in New York.
Casting aspersions on the Big Apple over
I
there.
don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where I'm from.
It was
It's on me right now. This is it.
covered. It was, I guess you were fucking around with it a minute ago.
Where were you during the Boxer Rebellion, huh?
Not born.
Good. Oh, wait, we're going to give him some science questions. Okay, what is the
We
smallest
still have to
planet?
start the show.
Well, people are listening anyway.
Pluto.
Pluto's not a planet.
It is.
Oh,
that's
snap,
true.
bring it
That
back.
is true.
It's a dwarf
Bring it
It's
planet.
a dwarf planet.
Thank you for playing. That's
What's
one.
the
He's 0
next
for
one?
1. Well, that's what
Me
I'm
and
asking
T,
you.
Armand's going to quiz us today in case.
Well, since
Yeah,
we're
I'm
talking
gonna get
about,
them all wrong.
how old are
guys.
you, T? If you don't mind, because it's my contention that the youth of this country does not know anything about
I'm
science.
31.
Oh, you're not the youth. Oh, you're middle aged.
Yeah,
My
I'm
birthday's
sorry.
tomorrow.
We can't test it. What are you going to be? 36?
Actually, that's not my real
God
age.
damn, Armand,
if
no,
you think I'm gonna
35.
give my real age on this show, you got another thing coming.
How old do you think
Government
he is?
agents don't say anything.
yeah, I'd like your social security number and date of birth for all our listeners.
Credit card number.
I don't
3
have a
numbers on the
social
back,
security.
code.
We have
Let's
a
get
whole
it.
other protocol for that type of thing.
This is Jack Ryan over here. Let's see. Wife
I
made me move
believe-
back.
Touchback 12 gauge says Mercury. Is
Oh,
that
sorry,
correct?
Joe. His wife made him move back.
Armand.
Thanks.
Mercury
Thanks,
is the
War.
smallest planet.
Correct. Mercury is. What is the largest moon? Which is actually bigger than Mercury.
Titan.
Covered my notes.
Titan is no
Like
incorrect,
this?
but it's not,
Are you
not a
talking
bad
about
guess.
A moon of Mercury or a moon in our
No,
solar
the
system?
largest moon in the solar system.
What's the other one from Jupiter? I can't.
No, Io's the smallest of the Galilean satellites.
I can't remember what the other one from Jupiter.
Ganymede.
Ganymede.
Also
you made
the-
that shit up. Come
Also
on.
the only moon with its own
Something
magnetic
about
field.
Ganymede.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about magnetic fields today. The electric
yeah.
universe.
Yeah. Bring it on. It's gonna be a good one.
But guys, what's
Ganymede.
before we're talking about anything else, what is up with the placebo effect?
Hey, whoa.
All right.
Well, we're good. Yeah,
For
hey.
the show, we
is
gotta
that-
start the
Don't
show.
spoil it.
What the fuck?
Man's a rank amateur.
Whoa.
rank.
Well,
Europa?
guys, I'm just trying to.
No, that's
stir
Wilder's guess. It's a good
the
guess,
pot.
but it's
I remember
Ganymede. It's Ganymede.
that. Gandalf.
Love this song.
Randolph.
This is a good theme song.
Randolph. Randy. Randolph
You're
Calrissian.
listening to Surreal Talk, a look inside the world of cults, conspiracies, and the paranormal.
Something's not right, man. Something's not right. Something's bullshit here, and I don't believe it.
That's a nice quote.
Honestly, this crazy shit could be completely possible.
Disclaimer, we reserve the right to be wrong, ladies and gentlemen. You think you know the whole story? Think again.
Now your hosts, Eric and Everett.
Hello, hello, hello. We are back.
What's
Welcome
up?
to Surreal Talk. This is Eric and Everett, and we are live with a couple of guests this week. Some familiar faces you know, love, and hate.
One guest, one interloper.
We have
Armand's
guest.
hardly a guest. He's like the step above guest and below host.
Semi-host.
Yeah,
Quasi-host.
agreed.
Slow down.
He's slow down, Armand. Semi-host.
down.
Whoa, whoa. No, he's the people's champion. They
much.
love Armand.
Hey, I love your
If
your
we were to
fans.
die, he could
tell-
do the show without us and nobody would notice.
Armand, one rape joke will ruin that. I promise you, though.
Yeah,
So,
lay off the rape jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Definitely, that's what the government says.
Yeah.
What
And here's
brought that
T.
on?
T's basically, he comes out of left field. He works in the office with us.
I'll say.
Do I, though?
And we just say, yeah, you can be on the show. That's pretty much why he's on. I mean, he brings nothing in at all. I mean, honestly.
I'm more of an interloper. I
Yeah.
watch and observe.
So, chat, feel free to eat him up if he says anything dumb. Just saying.
Yeah.
But that goes with us, too. You do that anyway.
Yeah.
So feel free. Welcome to the show. You're going to get eaten up just like the rest of us.
Oh, I like it eaten.
Are we going to quiz him as the show
Oh,
goes on?
Armand's
Fuck yeah.
Armand's doing a quiz for us too.
Test
He's
our
got-
postulate.
Fuck
All right, so let's start out with science is a liar sometimes, and
So-
and Armand comes to us.
Hold on,
Yeah.
we got to give credit where it's due. We nipped that title from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There's a segment on that show
Yeah.
where Mac was trying to disprove evolution, and he did so basically by making scientists of the past look like assholes or bitches, more or
Which
less.
was great. Suggest you
So-
search that on YouTube.
Yeah, science is a liar sometimes. You'll find us in Always Sunny, so we're in kind of good company.
Right. About the
Anyway.
same. So Armand comes to us this week in the office, and Armand. The way his face was like, I remember that. Fresh out of a YouTube rabbit hole, and
there.
and fucking just hype on the subject. So he comes to us and he's like, "What do you guys know? This is bullshit. Black holes aren't real. This, that, and the other." And I'm looking at him, I'm like, "Holy fuck, Armand! This doesn't sound like you. What's going on? Are you feeling well?" And he's like, "I want to do a show this weekend. We got to fucking do this show. It's got to be about science. This bullshit. The scientific method's dying." And I'm like, slow down. Let me get my fucking document out." And yeah, so Armand was hyped this week. Wanted to do a show about he's fucking pissed off at science. So that's where we're at
Where
right
does
now.
science end and where does
give us
religion
your thought of why
Well,
you wanted to do this.
Yeah, why did you want to do this, Armand?
Well, because I was watching Dr. Robitaille, who's
plug that YouTube channel, which is
Sky Scholar.
Sky Scholar.
And I was reading a book on the electric universe, and all these basically they totally defy what I was always taught and what is passes for the orthodoxy of modern physics. And I said, well, okay, so I'm going to look it up, and I really look in the comments because I wasn't going to get both sides, and whatever the guy said made a lot of sense to me. Mm-hmm. So I looked him up on the internet to see what people said. Dr. Robitaille, quack, screwball.
Right.
But they didn't say why. I mean, because what he said was
Flat Earth.
sticking to basic physical, equations. And I said, if he's such a screwball, how come you don't refute what he said with the scientific method?
To be fair, Armand, I watched one of his videos about black holes. He threw up equations on screen that could be just as bullshit of any mega equation we read in any science book that none of us know or could ever hope to test.
No, those are the ones I've seen.
You've seen these equations, but you have any hope of solving those equations or even using them to figure out.
Yeah, but they're not that way out and crazy.
All right, Einstein.
Right?
I'm just saying. Your exact point against science is that you won't test that.
Well, let's not go to that.
You won't test Mr. Anti-Science either.
But he talks about the sun, for instance, being plasma. Okay,
Yes.
that should be easy enough to refute with all the Soho and all this information we supposedly
Take
have.
a scoop out of it, right?
Which says if it is a plasma or a liquid metal core, it cannot collapse into a black hole by definition.
Which is what they're saying is going to happen.
Right. Well, no, not the sun. It's not big enough. But
only because what we know of
a
physics
star
states
20
that,
times the size of the sun would collapse into a black hole.
right, they're like liquid, at least for the most part, is a non-compressible liquid, so
Right,
or
that's
a
by
non-compressible
definition.
substance, right? And they can't compress down any further. And what's interesting though, there's planets out there that are giant ocean planets that at the bottom of these giant oceans, the pressure is so great that there exists water that is liquid, but is compressed so far down that it's crystallized, more or less. It's packed in as efficiently as you can have water crystals or water molecules packed, so it's still liquid, but
Yeah, but it's a different kind of water. They would say it's. But what he says, though, I mean, I'm just saying, and the electric universe too. I was reading a book on that too, and it makes a lot of sense to me. Now I'm just a layman, but that's basically what their whole point is. The guy that wrote the book said they expect you because we're just dumbass. I'm just a dumbass podiatrist.
True.
There's no way I could possibly understand. Yeah, and I'll acknowledge that, but there's no way we could possibly know this stuff. But I think they're using it to their advantage. That they come up with these abstruse, like
Obtuse.
string. No, not you're obtuse. Abstruse means it's hard to understand.
Well, if anyone thinks that
Recondite.
that's any different than the way religion for years and years and eons now basically has used death and other types of
True. So what's the
fear-mongering,
difference?
there is no difference.
That's my point.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff has to be taken on faith. Mm-hmm. Just like the Big Bang. Dr. Robitaille has a whole talk and a paper about how this microwave background radiation they found, this 3 degrees supposedly, cannot possibly be coming from, the Big Bang. And that's what his specialty is. He's a PhD.
Where's his PhD from?
Ohio. Well, he teaches
Phoenix
at Ohio
University.
State.
Teaches at Ohio
I think he's.
State?
Online.
Yeah.
I think he's at Vaderod College.
I guess what is the benefit of
He's a
someone?
plumber by day.
ITT.
What is the benefit
Hey,
of
Suskin's
others?
a plumber. Did you know that?
No.
What's that, T?
I'm
Go
saying,
ahead.
what are the benefits of others trying to discredit him? Like, what do they gain from doing something like
Well,
this?
the guy's on
right?
the internet basically telling how physics is dying because, like he says it's fanaticism.
and maybe
more
you
than
don't know
physics.
how the internet
Wouldn't you
works.
think somebody would try to refute him?
We
Well,
have
I
to
wouldn't-
overhaul the
Wouldn't
system.
somebody try to support him? Is also one of my questions.
A lot of
right?
people are.
A lot of people
The
support him.
comments
a
seem
lot
to
of
be
people-
supportive.
But
Comments are
it's
people
easy
like
to get
me
people
and
to
you,
support
though.
you.
I
We got
mean,
all kinds of people
That
to support
motherfucker
us.
convinced me
Right.
too, but like I'm saying, I'm just you got to watch out because as convincing as some shit can seem, it's I'm not saying I'm skeptic of all this, but I'm just saying as convincing as some things can be, you more want it to be.
It's like
But, I
that
mean-
song "Hooked" by Blues Traveler. As long as you speak with conviction, you know what I mean.
Right.
You believe
Right.
every word I say.
Yeah,
Hey, most of the stockbrokers make money that way.
Yeah.
but the bet noir, mine is global warming. You know that when anybody puts something on global warming up on either side, it gets all kinds. There's a hailstorm
Right.
of responses on both sides.
Yeah.
This guy is not getting that, and it's. To poo-poo the guy and say, well, the guy's crazy, or there's no such thing as the electric universe, and these things
Right.
are just folly. I think it does a disservice. I mean, I think basically what it is groupthink. These guys are taught this physics, and I'm going to say, right, I think they're lazy, and they build on this stuff, and they say it's easier to make 11 dimensions
So it's a lot
for
like a
string
writer's
theory.
room where people sit around and go, "Hey, how about this? Oh shit, probably. Let's work on that."
Yeah,
I mean,
kinda.
basically.
I think the process is a little more longer than
What
that.
is the
isn't it?
scientific
I mean, at the end
method?
of the
What's
day,
the
it's a little
process?
longer, but it's like working on dialogue. You
But
know what I mean?
the laws of what the idea of physics has evolved quite a little bit over the last.
Yeah, but what if it's wrong? What if it's
multiple
based on the
centuries.
wrong tenets? Which,
Sure, but and it has been disproven
Of course,
multiple
a lot of things
times.
have.
You know, it's been revised, which is what science should be, a constant revision.
well, let me ask
know,
like
and
this,
so-
T. To say that the universe should not be expanding, but we know it is supposedly. Okay,
Right. Due
so
to
we don't know
Hubble's
why.
experiments,
So
right.
we introduce that. Well, 95% of the universe is something we can't see. Dark
Right,
energy and dark
right.
matter. That to me is kind of a cop out.
Yeah, that's a huge cop
That
out.
sounds
It
like
is.
religion. Why don't
Yeah.
you just say God's doing it?
Yeah,
We
God
don't know
made
what
it.
it is. We have an equation we can't balance. Throw a
Right.
variable in and call it whatever you want. You can call
Yep.
it A or B in algebra. In physics, we're calling it dark matter. It's
Yeah.
the same
Okay.
thing.
So if somebody walks in my office, I don't know what's wrong with them. He's limping.
Dark matter.
I'm going to say it's dark matter. What the hell? Here's $175 office visit.
Something in the knee area, dark matter.
Gotta be dark matter. That shit will fuck you up.
Right.
that's a
Don't
huge
step on
problem.
dark
I mean-
matter. It hurts.
It's unobservable. You can't. It's not. You can't see it through electromagnetic spectrum, so you can't see it.
Right.
There's no
It's
radio wave
undetectable.
interference. I mean, to me, it sounds like it doesn't exist, but only on.
And
you
then
hope
they,
it does.
Right, they
Right.
discovered the Higgs boson, supposedly, and that's supposed to tell us all that. What did it tell us? Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's
What's
true.
changed? That was like 6 years ago.
Basically, what I think that at least the dark matter and dark energy works out to is our fundamental not knowing of what gravity is.
Well, these
think
guys say
gravity's
that
the
gravity.
problem?
Well,
Right.
they say that if you read the electric universe, they say that the universe is not based on gravity. That the overarching force is not gravity; it's electricity. The solar wind, the heliosphere, all this stuff.
Vibration.
So what keeps us on the
Electricity,
planet then?
Electromagnetic.
Well, there's still gravity.
keeps
It's still
us
a
Well, there is
force.
gravity, but
There is gravity,
electromagnetism is much stronger.
Yeah, the current model is basically based on gravity. The way everything in the entire universe
Right.
behaves is, but
Right.
apparently, so it's static electricity more or
Mass.
less, and that's
Yeah,
sort of thing.
somewhat. Yeah, that's what it is. Charged, charged protons and the
Same way
auroras and all that.
A
Well,
balloon sticks
now-
to the wall.
Tesla's gonna be the emperor.
Oh yeah, there
Tesla's
it is.
still
Figures
alive.
this shit out.
Emperor Tesla.
Tesla's still alive.
Sure
Emperor-
he is.
Emperor
Cryonics,
Musk.
guys, cryonics.
He
Hashtag
doesn't
Tesla.
need it. He's a
puzzle.
time traveler.
Right.
So anyway, we're talking about the scientific method. I think a lot of this stuff pretty much disobeys the laws of the scientific method.
Let's
which
go through
is-
the scientific
yeah,
method real
sure.
quick. What's your knowledge of it? I can give you step by step. But
Observation first,
Right,
and then you make a or question it, and then you make a
Hypothesis.
hypothesis, and you
Right.
question the hypothesis, and then you experiment, and you get results.
And then you change the hypothesis.
Well,
or
if it
reaffirm
agrees with your
Right.
hypothesis,
analyze and then
Yeah.
draw your conclusion. Exactly. You know, at
Right.
every step of
Richard Feynman, yeah, I mean, and
Yeah.
Francis
You see
Bacon,
something-
actually.
Basic stuff. So there's
You
nothing
wonder-
wrong with that process.
Absolutely not.
So we can agree on that one.
That's
right?
the only
Me too.
logical way-
I think that's
Right.
a very
The
very
most
good process.
logical way.
Aristotle came up with that. Francis Bacon,
Absolutely.
these guys, centuries
Yeah.
ago.
Right. It's a great, very logical.
Well, before that, it
process.
was like, it was religion or it was mysticism.
Yeah.
The gods
Magic.
did it.
Yeah.
And then one god did it, and then
So
Jesus.
what's broken in the process now?
Well, I
which
just said
step
it.
in the process is broken?
Well, dark matter. You can't test it. And I always bring up Karl
Exactly.
Popper, who was like the father of
Can't prove it wrong,
scientific
disprove it, or what they
philosophy.
call it.
A
Right.
non-falsifiable.
There it is.
Hypothesis.
Non-falsifiable.
Well,
Right.
yeah. I mean, they did that for the cold fusion stuff,
Right.
so.
If you can reproducible and falsifiable. So your experiment worked. If I can do it too and it works, okay.
True.
Or I do it and it doesn't work. But if you say I did it, but you can't do it,
Yeah.
that's not
absolutely, because-
reproducible.
because-
That's called horse shit.
Yes.
That's
yes.
called dark matter. That's called global warming.
Well,
Well, global warming has been
No.
plenty of
duplicated.
data
No, it
there
hasn't.
that-
The data there has been
No, it hasn't.
reproduced by many scientists, hasn't it?
It's the analysis
that
of the
there's-
data that he doesn't really agree with.
Yeah, it's the analysis.
Not
of the
only
data
that, there
we
has
don't
been
agree
no study, there has been no rock solid, reproducible study that says CO2 is a, quote, greenhouse gas.
You don't think
I'll
that
take your
backs
word
this
for that.
up?
No,
with. I
it
can't
doesn't.
take his word for that.
Wow.
I
We
gotta
breathe
I'm
look
saying
this
everything
up.
I learned in grade school and junior high and high school, pretty much
Yeah.
stated that it was. But
Right.
So you're
what's your
telling
thoughts
me-
on Venus? Hold on. What's your thoughts on Venus?
Venus is due to the pressure. Venus has an atmosphere that's 97 times as heavy. PV equals nRT,
Is that
right? Pressure
There,
times
pervert.
volume.
PVRT.
Yeah, the more pressure you have, the hotter it gets. And that's another that disproves it, because if you read that paper I gave you yesterday, or I gave somebody, only 2% of the sun's rays reach the Venusian atmosphere surface.
Sure.
So it can't be that heating it up. It's not the greenhouse effect.
I don't know enough about it, honestly, to disprove you, Armand.
Well, I have a
Armand
paper.
says Neil deGrasse Tyson's wrong
need
as
somebody
far as
who
what
can
goes
s-
happening
He's
with
basically
Venus.
the astrophysicist of our show.
No,
I used to be.
I'm not.
No, you basically are.
Well,
for
I've
our
read a
show.
lot
Nope,
about it.
You
All
are.
I have to say is,
We gotta
Astrophysicist.
find someone else to refute him.
but here's
No,
the
we don't.
point. Here's the
We
point.
should.
No, we don't need to.
Let me ask you this.
Or is
though.
at
Okay.
least as intelligent so that
Does this make sense to you, though?
Mm-mm.
Does this
Nope.
make sense to you? Okay, you're either NASA or a climatologist, which there's no such thing. Okay, and you're getting grants from the government. You say there's no such thing as global warming. Are you going to be that stupid? You're getting money to study global warming. That right there, I think.
He's got you there, T.
That's another part
Well,
of
hold
the
on.
scientific
Snap.
method.
Hold on.
It has to
Shit.
be objective.
Might call the
here's
fire
the thing though.
department. He got
Let's say
fucking
you do
burned.
get a grant. You do get a grant
me out.
on. You do get a grant from the government to study
Sure.
something like global warming.
Okay.
But climate study is not just concerning global warming.
Oh, really?
I mean, right now it is because
What's
it's
it
the most.
studying?
It's the most mainstream element.
It gets the most
right?
money.
It gets the most money currently. But
That's
I think
my point.
At this point, is
I don't
somebody
think
who's
you
doing
can-
that exact type of research, global warming research.
I know what you're trying to say. They're getting money and saying global warming
Right.
exists so we can get money. I understand.
It's
That's
the Philip Morris argument. Philip Morris pays the researchers to do the research on tobacco, and bam,
Yes,
bing, bang,
yes.
boom. Hey,
They're
man,
being-
cigarettes
yeah.
are safe.
Yeah, Russell
Sure.
Crowe broke it all apart in The Insider by Michael Mann. Anyways, I think it can't be like I think there should be some type of like curvature in which more people like it can't be like a 90th percentile agreement on the
There
whole
isn't.
matter.
That's a myth too.
Is that a myth?
Of course it is.
Why is that a myth?
Well,
Where's the data coming from that says it's not that?
I've read the paper by the Oreskes and the other one by.
Okay.
Basically, what this woman did was she was a grad student, I believe, and she sent out papers to like 11,000 climatologists. Only like 300 answered her. And out of those 330 or whatever, 300 something said yes. And the questions were basically, has the Earth been warming since 1800? And I'd probably have to agree with that too.
Yeah,
We're
of
coming out of an
course.
ice
Yeah,
age. And is
absolutely.
man responsible? That's it.
Question mark.
Question mark, right. It
I'm
didn't
with you
say,
there.
should we take action against it?
I don't
Is
think
it
there's-
irreversible?
I don't think there's anything that would make anyone think that we're not actually in a warming period. But is man responsible? Is in my question.
That's
is
the
my
big question, right? Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm going to say we're going to be in a cooling period. Most people are saying for the next 30 years, sunspot activity is decreasing. Doesn't
We're at the end of the 11-year cycle.
Sounds like a
on this-
meteorologist.
Yeah.
We're coming out of an 11-year cycle coming across the Midwest. The sun's looking to slow down. We're
He's-
going to get another little
Yeah.
ice
When,
age.
so let's put this prediction. So what is your prediction again? You said we're going to be in a cooling period.
It's not
starting
my
when?
prediction. There's a Russian scientist, and several papers have come out that said sunspot activity is decreasing.
Okay.
Let's go with we were talking about Occam's razor,
Hang
right?
on,
The
Right.
simplest-
Wooter says in the
Simplest
chat that
solution.
you're talking out of your ass on global warming.
Okay,
Armand.
well,
I mean, so hang on. What's
wait a
the
minute. His
basic?
name is Wouter, first of all.
Oh, I call him Woot, man. That's between me and him. I got this. Oh, yeah, Woot. So,
Right.
Armand,
And that's fine.
Armand's very passionate about the global warming subject. You just think he's wrong on the how many people that was sent out to? Because if it was only sent to 300 or sent to 11,000 and
Right.
300 answered, and she's
Right.
counting that 90% out of the 300.
Correct.
That's not fucking 90% of all. That's
Yeah.
not even 90% of all scientists. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? That's nothing.
It's in
the
fact,
thing is that real, though?
Meteorologists are about
didn't
half and
figure that
half.
out.
It's about half and half.
Marissa, Armand was talking about you
Hey.
earlier.
Hey, there she is.
Anyway.
Hello. Oh, she can't stay. So anyway,
Well, let's talk about a few things then that science had originally thought was something and turned out to be something completely different.
Such
For
as?
instance,
What do you have in mind?
helios-
Everett?
Ladders.
global warming.
Well, I was going to say heliocentric
Oh,
solar system.
Of course.
Oh, right.
Well,
That
actually, or like Earth-centric. What's the word for that, Armand?
Earth-centric, yeah.
What's that?
Solar-centric?
No, heliocentric.
Well, that's where they were.
That's the sun.
Sun's at the center. But
Oh,
we
the
thought it used
geocentric.
to be
Geocentric,
Because
yeah.
the Earth is
It's
the center.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, people thought the Earth was the center of the universe and everything revolved around us.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Have you seen the models of what that looks like to actually?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
The wobble
yeah,
of
the
like
planets-
Mars or
the
which
the
one?
corkscrew around.
Planets supposedly moved in cycles and all this.
Yeah.
And they made it, they made it
Right.
do
What was the-
cartwheels to basically make it work.
You know the Ankara mechanism, that weird crank thing they found in the bottom of the ocean that could tell you the. You know what I'm talking
No,
about?
I don't think so.
What's that called, Eric?
What?
The Ankara mechanism, I think it's called. It was an ancient device they found in a shipwreck. It was like a computer that could tell you the positions of the planets and whatnot.
Oh,
Oh, no, but I remember it. But
it's supposed to be an
I don't-
alien.
No, it was just something that they'd have no clue how they would have had the technology to create that way back when. But it was still a mechanical thing.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering what that device would have looked like using the model, like the corkscrew thing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes. Well, yeah, the ellipses and all this that we know the planets. Kepler's laws of planetary motion dispelled all that, but it took a long time. because people just couldn't, and that was a religion because people just couldn't stomach
Right,
that the
we're-
Earth is not the center of the universe.
Self-importance.
God wouldn't have made it that way,
Right.
and God doesn't play dice.
He might.
Albert Einstein.
He could be wrong.
That's when he's talking about quantum mechanics, of course.
Yeah, he was wrong about
God
time
plays
travel,
skee-ball.
so, you know.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, I mean everybody knows that.
God does play skee ball on the
Does
Jersey
he?
Shore. Yeah.
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 Maybe some tennis too. Who knows?
Did you know Aristotle himself used to think that the spontaneous generation was possible, that life could arise out of nowhere?
Yeah, that was a big thing too.
Yeah, he was one of the main purveyors of that. So the thought was that life would come out of nowhere if you had mud or slime or some sort of substance that and exposed sunlight to it
But he's still the smartest man ever, in my opinion.
at that point.
Well, here's the thing.
Got
Going
that
back
one
to the
wrong.
whole theory that these climatologists are trying to get funds, for global warming. Back then, the church supported
Sure.
everything.
It's the
and
same
Aristotle was very,
That's all I'm
he was
saying,
Christian.
T. It's a religion.
Was he
Global
Catholic,
warming is a
Christian? Which
religion.
one is he?
Who?
Aristotle.
And a business.
I know he was
Greek.
part of the.
He
And
was
a
born
business.
300 years before Christ.
More importantly, I think it's a business.
Which
I
one?
mean,
Definitely in business.
The business takes advantage of the people who are the religious parts of science. You know what I mean?
Well, sure.
The business of science is
I'm
way more
saying there's
governing.
no difference.
Right. It's the same thing
If
with
it's
religion,
not reproducible, not falsified, what do they say? There's more hurricanes. Global warming. It's getting colder. There are colder winters. It's global warming. It's hotter in the summer. It's global. Everything's attributed to global warming. You might as well say it's God.
You calling Al Gore a liar?
I'm calling Al Gore a liar and a piece of shit.
Shots fired.
I hate
Al
that
Gore.
guy. And a hypocrite, which
And
is
a
even
hypocrite.
worse. The guy's got
Get him.
7 houses. He uses more energy than probably 120 people.
Right.
And he's got the
Al
nerve
Gore,
to
if you're
talk
listening,
about global
go
warming.
fuck yourself.
Thank you. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Did we just lose a channel on the ears?
Yeah, I think I just blew
Hey,
out
T,
the channel.
Shake that thing behind your computer a little bit.
I got it back.
Do you? I don't have it back.
See,
No,
you
that
mentioned
little
Al
box.
Gore and everything
No,
goes
this
to
next
hell.
one over. That was not plugged in.
Yeah, that's the power of Al Gore.
You're
You tell him to
right.
go fuck himself.
Screw
He cuts
everything.
He cuts the fucking.
Well, we're talking about Occam's razor, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Occam's razor is very interesting.
Is it easier to say the sun
we're good.
drives all the climate, right? The thing that has the most power and the most heat
Right.
in the whole
Generally-
universe or in the whole solar system, or
Or
some,
the
some
Earth is doing it.
CO2, which is 400 parts per million, that you got to make all these computer models jump through hoops to make that work. When you say, look, when the sun is active and there are a lot of sunspots, it gets hotter, and when the sun is cooler and it cools down, there's less sunspots, it gets colder.
So you're saying that whenever it gets
That's
in a
Occam's
cooling
razor.
phase, that all the ice caps are gonna just go back to normal. Like,
Well, I'm
I
not
mean,
saying we're going to have like mile
'cause
thick.
we have glacial melting, like the
Since
unprecedented.
1850.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're coming out of an ice age. Most of the melting was from 1850 to 1900. It's documented.
Okay.
This is an
Documented,
interglacial
bro.
period.
So your theory is basically human
Not my
beings are very.
theory.
Well, you're saying human beings are just we're not doing enough to even affect the
CO2 is not causing global warming or climate change of any type. That's all I'm saying.
How
What about
would-
CO or
CO2?
methane?
Methane, insignificant. That too.
How would
man-made emissions?
How about let me ask you another
Mm-hmm.
question then? Can any being affect the planet in such a way to create something like global warming?
No,
Not
I
talking
think
about
so.
CO2.
Absolutely not.
I honestly think
so
you're
you
wrong.
think it's just
I can tell you how.
impossible?
Okay,
Let's
how?
hear it.
Please.
Nuclear weapons can create a winter.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Nuclear weapons can create a big enough earthquake.
that's
to
kind of a
create
theory,
tsunamis
too.
that
I mean,
ruin the
obviously-
fucking Earth.
Well, you don't think if with enough nukes you couldn't fuck shit up real bad?
Well, I would think the ash probably would, but that's that's
you go.
neither falsifiable nor. I mean,
What if you were to blow all the super volcanoes using nukes? I mean,
Well, it's going to. Yeah, volcanoes do affect,
just
but he's
saying.
saying man-made, which
That's
nuclear
pretty man-made.
weapons. That's true. But volcanoes, absolutely. There have been years without a summer when Tambora went off and Krakatoa.
that was
there
3
no
years
summer.
there. in a
But
row
Armand, do
without
you
summer,
at
yeah.
least believe that we should stop driving cars and,
No,
and polluting the
absolutely
atmosphere? No.
Here's
Why
the
not?
question.
Because it's definitely been
because-
proven pollution is very terrible.
Yeah,
You know, on
it's not that
childbirth-
terrible. No,
on
it isn't.
childbirth and your life
Yeah, but
expectancy.
you know what's even more terrible?
What?
Energy that is very expensive. That is
Oh, he's
directly
got you
linked to
there.
deaths. That's going to kill a
Oh,
hell of a lot more
interesting.
people than people with asthma.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying. I mean, if there was cold nuclear fusion, I'd love it. In fact, I'm a big proponent of nuclear
what
power.
you're saying is the industry
Yeah,
that
nuclear
fossil
power,
fuels allow
absolutely.
for are way
Right.
more valuable
exactly. The
than
advantage. Right.
they allow the medicine to keep people alive. If you didn't have that stuff,
What do you think we
Right,
use
no, I
oil for?
understand.
Plastics. We use all
Yeah,
kinds of
no.
pharmaceuticals.
I
But that's not
understand that.
cars, though.
No, but it's still you got to extract the oil. They're saying all these things, the fracking and all this. How terrible oil and
I watched a
fossil
video of
fuels
fracking
are.
today. It was done by an oil
Why
company.
not?
but-
Why not alternative energy sources? Why not
Because
renewable energy
they're very
sources?
expensive and you need a backup anyway.
So-
You're gonna have coal.
So here you go. So here's the deal.
What about solar?
Either-
you just said the sun
You know
is
how
the
big
most.
for one nuclear
powerful-
plant you need like half the Mojave Desert to be covered with solar cells. It's not so simple.
Well, nuclear. I agree with you on nuclear. Nuclear is also
Okay,
it's
for a
not
coal-fired
renewable,
plant
but yeah.
too.
So
it takes
here-
a lot of land for solar.
This is very easy to break down. Global warming is caused by man, and global warming isn't caused by man. Now, if it is caused by man, you can go one of two routes. You can do nothing, ruin the planet, or you can save the fucking planet, fix everything, do what you got to do, stop cutting down on him, whatever.
But who says you're going to
I'm
ruin
just-
the
hang on,
planet?
hang on, hang on. Just hear me out one
There's
sec.
a difference, though.
Hear me out. I'm getting to your side now.
But
Armand.
just
Hang
in
on.
case is what Eric is saying.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just breaking this down easily. This is the end. This could be the end all be all of global warming. If it is fucking real.
Well, I've been waiting for this for a long time.
If it is fucking real and it's man-made and it's CO2 and everything, then we either do something or we don't do something. It breaks down to very simplistically that right there. Either we try to stop or we don't. You know what I mean?
All right.
So if it is not real, then we can do one of two things. We can either still try to stop something that's not real or do nothing. So out of these four choices, what's the best choice? Where's the best scenario here? That it's not real and you tried to stop it, so no harm, no foul, or it's not real, you didn't do nothing, you're in good shape. It is real, you don't try to stop it, you fucked the whole world. It's not real, or it is real and you did try to stop it and now you're the hero. What's the best case scenario here?
Well, I think you got a false premise there, because even if it's real, even the real lunatics don't think it's going to fuck the world. Let's put it that way. They're going to have global, there's going to be sea level rise, and there's going to be people that have to move away from the seashores,
Right.
and there's going to be some,
You're working
50,000
toward an
deaths.
eventuality.
It's like
though.
this is like
What do you want?
Pascal's
Talking
wager.
eventuality. Let's break this all the
Hey,
way
what if
down
it
to the end.
cascades worse and
That's a
worse?
reducto ad absurdum that's going to destroy the planet. It's not going to do that.
You don't think eventually,
No,
in
of
a
course
million
not.
years, with the stuff going
Of
on
course
just
not.
like
in
this,
the Cretaceous period,
so
there
you was,
don't
believe that
there were
could be holes
1,700
in the ozone layer
No,
from
of course
all
not.
of the.
That's-
Okay, so
that doesn't
Well-
cause that. That's not even they say that's not true.
Eric,
Okay.
what you
It's supposed to be-
presented right now was just the equivalent of a Pascal's wager. It's saying like to play the wager that whether or not God exists or not, and it has a whole square. This is like,
yeah,
look, if it
exactly.
does
That's
exist-
exactly what it is. Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
But the
Yeah, but
answer
it's
is
not
That's
to
the
do it.
agnostic's credo, more or less.
Pascal's wager is totally different. Pascal said, if you believe, there's no problem in believing in God because you got nothing to lose and everything to gain. That's
Fair,
what he
yeah.
said.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to
The
say.
problem with global
He's
warming,
trying
we
to
got
give you the
everything
same
to lose.
situation.
We got plenty to lose. You know how many trillions of dollars, how many people are going to be dying because energy costs are going to go through the roof? You're going to wreck the economy.
Why not put that into homeless people is what he's saying
Sure.
instead of that.
If you're
you know
going to
what I
spend, that's
mean?
why I always say, $1 trillion you want to blow, get clean water for people in Africa, fight AIDS,
Well,
cancer.
this is the same
I
argument
agree with
of
you on
blow
that.
it-
I
well,
totally
you're blowing
agree
it
with
on
you
global
that.
warming.
But don't
Military
you think? Don't you
spending.
think
I'm
that
gonna go
there's
mute them. We'll
there's
just
an
talk.
inherent problem with constantly tapping into an energy source that will just dwindle into like hit
Dwindle? Are you
zero
kidding?
at
We
some
got
point?
more. That's that stupid Paul Ehrlich argument that you know.
You're saying we have
peak
oil forever.
We'll have oil for a couple hundred years, coal for 500 years.
Yeah, but
by
what-
that
what
time,
after
if you're not
that?
taking, so you do what people.
not very long.
What
You're not
after
an
that?
economist. Economists know we're not going to be in 50 years. We probably won't be using it anymore. You know, there's going to be nanobots. God
You
only
can't
knows what we're going
prove
to be
that.
using.
As
You
on our
can't prove
current
we will.
source, on our current course, we're fucked.
No, we're not. We haven't
On our
hit
current-
peak oil yet. They're
How do
finding
you
more.
know?
They know. They found it.
So there's only so much. There's only
true,
so
the
much
Arctic-
oil.
the
They said
Arctic
in
This
smell-
Earth is
the
not
finding
made of
of
oil.
oil. Here we
Okay,
go
so
back again.
eventually,
There's
all
plenty
the
of
motherfucking
oil.
oil is going to be pumped out and used up, and by that time,
You
then
think we're gonna be
what-
around for that?
I'm asking. Then
That's
what do we do?
hundreds of
No, I'm not
years.
talking.
You guys are
Coal's
great.
a-
Coal's
we
a
can't consider
1,000
this-
years.
We can't
This is
consider
the
this
beauty
from
of
my
this
point of view.
episode.
And
Does
your
that make
point of view.
sense?
You got to consider this from a generational
You're arguing other point of views.
Well,
by the
eventually
way.
cows
Yeah,
are going
that's fine.
Eventually cows are going to go extinct, so we should stop eating beef right now. That's
Fuck
crazy.
no.
That's stupid.
No,
That's
that's
not-
what
that's
I'm
not a
getting
valid
at.
Actually,
argument.
you should stop eating beef because it's just bad for your health.
Oh,
No,
thank you,
I
doctor.
I will not.
Gee, what should I do about my bunion?
I don't know, but am I not right about that? I
No.
mean,
You
I
don't know
buy
what you're
that
talking
either.
about.
you don't buy that.
We're gonna run you
Why?
out of this room on a rail if you
See,
say anything about
good
beef
Lord.
again.
We're going to get to medical myths too.
Can't
Just
even,
eat your meat rare. It's better rare. Okay,
Isn't
what's,
it?
what's everybody
It
saying?
is better rare, right?
Coal kills, but not only CO2, but also fine
We're
dust.
way
causing
off
well,
what we
that's
were
true.
going for
I got to
here.
agree with that. But here again, for the people, I mean, what, a few hundred, it kills coal miners too. But believe me, if you want to kill people, you increase, like Germany.
I'm gonna trigger him here in a second.
Their energy costs are 4 times ours per kilowatt hour.
Germany.
People are dying. They're freezing it. England too. They're freezing to death because they can't pay for heat, medicine, and food. Here we have very cheap energy. That keeps people alive.
We got very expensive food.
Warhawks is what
no,
we're
you
going to
know,
continue
go to a
doing. right?
buffet.
You know, it's more expensive for healthy food than it is for fucking fattening and shit that makes your body terrible.
There's a reason for that because it's good.
Okay, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say.
Chicken nuggets, baby.
I got one word for you, and I want to know your opinion on it.
Yes.
Cryonics.
What about it?
Do you think it's fucking legit? Do you think there's any way you could freeze anyone and bring them back in
you got
any
nothing to
amount of
lose.
time?
It's better than death.
Yes.
That's nothing to lose.
I'll go with T on that one.
Yes.
I'll go with Pascal. What the hell?
Then you are the
Absolutely.
exact type of reason I would like to start a cryonics business.
That's
Because all you got to do is
shit.
put people
You
in the
know
freezer.
they have this
In a
right now,
freezer.
right?
Well,
yeah.
It's
Why
called
not?
Alcon. It's over in fucking Arizona.
Well, they got
Whoever
it.
did it
They
did
say
a great
they say
job.
don't
Sure.
don't be an
Geniuses.
idiot. Like, pay your $200K
What's the
right now, get the
alternative?
bracelet, they'll
Yeah.
come rushing to you, pump your body with, what's that stuff called?
Liquid
Well,
nitrogen.
liquid nitrogen. is
Liquid
what they
nitrogen.
use, yeah.
No, there's something they preserve your body with.
Antifreeze.
Well, yeah,
It's not
definitely
that shit
glycol.
either.
They have that too.
It's something that doesn't it doesn't expand the cells when they
Well,
when they
they're
inject
getting
you
better
with
and
this
better
stuff.
at this
I forgot what
because,
it's
the
called.
problem is crystallization of the cell.
Right.
And they don't know. But now, supposedly, they can
And
do it
hang you
with
upside
very
down.
minimal crystallization.
So in case
Man,
something goes
fuck
wrong,
that.
your head's the last thing to get.
But that's what I'm saying. There is a price for that. It's 100,000 or whatever, 200,000.
It's like 100. But it's pretty good. I mean, to live
Well, the
forever.
alternative's
would you do
nothing.
it? Yeah,
The
absolutely.
alternative's death.
But the alternative is actually there's quite an interesting theory here. It's like if you believe you can be revitalized by humans, why not believe that aliens can also revitalize you and start torturing your body and doing things to you that you don't even know? Right? What
I'll
if
live
you're
with that.
frozen? What if you're fucking frozen?
I'll take
you
my chances.
And the next time you become alive again, you see, oh fuck, like there are aliens here now. What about
Futurama.
Kill
that?
yourself. So
Kill
what?
yourself. What if they won't
Sex
let
slave.
you? What if you know?
Idiocracy.
That's the thing. If they have technology to revitalize you, they won't let you die. Here
Well,
it is.
I'll take
man.
that chance.
Mentally and physically clone you over and over again for
See,
their
now,
experiments.
there's a difference between science
You
and
wanna take that
religion right
chance?
there.
That would be a literal hell.
No wonder you believe in global
No,
warming.
I'm just kidding. I would totally go with the chronic.
Wooter says
Absolutely.
nobody died in Germany, that the energy prices in Germany are sometimes even negative due to the abundance of wind power.
No,
He's
I've got
from
papers.
there.
He's
Well, what
Dutch.
about-
He's not, well,
How fucking close is that to
That's
Germany?
a
if
good
he
point.
pronounces his name Wouten, he's not from
Huh?
Germany.
He's actually from
He's
Netherlands.
Dutch.
Yeah,
How close is that?
right next to it. Not the point.
Fuck good enough.
Good enough.
Fuck good enough. We know about the Canadians.
I got papers that say. Why?
Oh,
why did
man.
they tried it? They tried taking out coal. Now they're bringing it back.
It's efficient.
Spain too. Spain tried solar. It was a total
What about-
bust. They're going back to coal. They've tried it.
What about France?
France is all nuclear. 80% nuclear.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, the French are
They have
smart.
good hydropower too.
They don't need
And
it.
hydroponics.
80%'s nuclear.
Just saying.
India's half nuclear.
Look,
only in this
I
country.
got some of
that's
that
another
Pepe Le Pew stuff.
After
stupidity.
what?
The
After what?
stupidity
Here's the thing: we've had incidents here in the United States,
here
like
we
3
go.
Mile Island. This whole
Nobody
fucking,
died.
Nobody died on 3 Mile Island. I understand,
Right.
and they made a whole big deal about it. But here's
got an
it's the
idea.
politics behind this, right?
Right.
So it's
Fucking
we
keep going.
we don't have the ability to make nuclear energy a possibility in our country.
Sure
right
we
now.
do, because a bunch of nuts think it's going to blow us all up and the radiation's going to kill us.
Sure, but there is a possibility.
Is that a
No?
possibility?
That's a
No,
possibility.
Not
no.
these
It's
fourth,
not a possibility.
These fourth and fifth generation nuclear plants, they can't have meltdowns. They don't get that hot.
Really?
Japan then. I mean,
That didn't melt down.
Yeah,
That wasn't a meltdown. That was the worst possible thing could happen, and the thing really didn't kill anybody. I don't know, a few people
no,
died
but the
from
radiation's
tide.
leaking into the and so
Low level radiation.
But what
It's
I'm
not
getting
killing
at is
anybody.
it's radiating. There's fish coming with tumors out of this ocean, and there's
Have
fucking big
you
fat
been
fucking
there?
tumors coming out because they're right
Beautiful.
around
This
that
is
spot.
perfect.
They're right around that spot
Okay,
where that's
so
Fukushima, where it's leaking all that
Right.
radiation.
But there's no such thing as a perfect energy source. Is it better than coal? You're the one telling me about how people, they're dying from coal.
Right.
and
No.
we're gonna
All
run out.
I'm getting to is the point that you said that these nuclear, like even in a submarine, that you're telling me that they can't, fucking cause down. There's a ship, it fucking sinks, and then the radiation leaks
It
out.
hasn't happened yet. There's no incident of that.
None yet. But is it possible?
No.
This
Well,
is-
it's not
this
that big
is
of a
so dumb.
reactor. What do you expect to happen?
I don't
If
know.
it sinks, nobody's going to care. They're going to be dead anyway.
What about if we all started using nuclear reactors for our house to power our houses? Is there any way for
Well,
radiation?
that'd be
like-
great, but I don't think you're going to get it that small. But theoretically, you could have it for a city. You could have a nuclear reactor small enough to provide energy for a city.
And if
that'd
it
be great.
blew up, if a squirrel
they
crawled
don't
on
blow
it
up.
and it blew
They
up.
don't. There's no such thing.
Well, how do you feel about Tesla's power walls and their Tesla roofs? Why not just do that for everything?
Which one?
Have you seen the Tesla roof at all? And their Tesla power walls. So what they do now, they released a wall or a roof, which is basically a shingle system that are
Right.
solar power infused or solar collector infused shingles. You can get tiles of any sort. They could look like slate shingles. Doesn't matter. Long story short is you can get a roof that is less total cost of ownership than a regular roof and electricity over the course of the lifetime of it. What do you think about those instead?
And it stores it
Hey,
into a
I
battery.
have no
in the
problem
back.
with that, but to think that all that stuff is the solar power, the batteries and all that, you use a lot of rare earths,
Sure.
which require mining and coal and a lot of power to get like a Tesla. It goes into that battery for that car.
Lithium.
All kinds of
Yeah.
rare earths that are very rare, hence the name.
Yes,
and it takes
yes.
a lot of mining and a lot of
By the way, me and
energy.
you were just on the right there.
And
on
a
the
lot
left.
of people actually to put it
Yeah.
together. He
If
needs
anybody
like,
wants to
he needs
listen
like
to
a
just us, they
gigawatt
can
factory or
balance
something.
to the right.
And then once you got to
understand.
dispose
If
of
they
the
listen to this,
battery,
then they
so
balance
all
to the
these
left.
things,
Oh, that's
nobody takes that
nice.
into
Yeah, so
account.
if you're listening in your car right now,
So
just
solar
turn it to the
power,
right.
believe
Just
me,
me
is
and
not
Eric.
the answer. Now, if you say, yeah, a panel for a home, or do you want to heat your water with it or whatever,
Right.
and the government, of course, subsidizes it, and you know,
Yes.
over
Yes.
20
Currently they
years,
do,
you
yeah,
get your
yeah.
money back, sure, it's your choice. Why not?
So
it's
what
not
is
completely
it?
innocuous.
Other than nuclear power, what is another renewable energy that we should pursue? That's
None.
reliable.
What about
They're
cold
not
fusion?
economical.
I'm going back to a regular
It-
channel. This is
we're
what
not
I'm messing with.
Burn
talking about
coal and
economics.
burn oil.
I understand. We're not talking about
Until
economics.
when? No.
Until we get a better source, which is going to be very soon. Sooner, if we do that, we're going to probably have a breakthrough sooner unless we go to solar and wind. And that's what economists
So
say.
you agree
You're
that-
better off using coal and oil and burning the shit out of them and improving your system of capitalism and,
But you're going by
making
economists.
leaps and bounds in
But
science.
you're going by economists and not environmentalists about what's good.
Fuck environmentalists.
Oh,
Yeah, I know what
here
they
we
say.
go. What
Look,
do they say?
What do they? Well, they don't care about they care about like the Delta smelt or whatever in California, but they don't care about all the bats and birds that are killed by wind power. They never bring that stuff up or fried on solar panels.
Yeah, but the
The
number of bats and
toxic
birds killed by
fucking-
those are minimal.
What about
No,
the
there's
toxic?
there's
minimal. No, no,
thousands.
it's
What
very
about the
minimal.
toxic
Very
fucking
minimal.
waste that comes from refining all this oil? There a lot of toxic fucking waste that comes from refining all this oil. That's terrible for the environment. Terrible when you could have a
They're not
wind.
dumping.
When
They
you
don't
could,
dump it. Where do they dump it? What do you put it in rivers?
hang
and
on,
stuff?
before I tell you where they dump it.
I want to read.
What do you? Where do you think they do with hazardous waste?
What hazardous waste?
Oh, this
any
is going to be
hazardous-
crazy because he knows exactly what they do with this.
That's what I said before they tell.
There you
Before I
go.
tell
I
you,
bet he swallows it.
what do you think they do with hazardous waste?
What
that
is the
does that?
hazard? What? Give me the chemical that's hazardous.
Just-
I'm not aware of what you're talking about from refining oil.
Okay, so you can do it in a bunch of different ways. There's coke. There's benzene contaminated coal tar sludge.
Okay.
There's
All right.
a lot of different things like
They
that
drop
come
it
out
in
of
like a
refineries. So
mill
what do they
tailing,
do?
like nukes. I don't know. Put it in mill tailings. I'm not sure. They don't
what-
drop it in rivers.
No. It's because why would they though? Because it's fucking terrible for the environment.
So what do they
Okay.
do with it?
Well, yeah. What do they do with it?
They have to incinerate it, which is also terrible for the environment. Because
What does it do to the
where's the smoke
environment?
go?
Through a filter?
What do you do with the filters that have cancerous dust in
Burn
them?
them?
And then what?
It goes through a filter?
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, a filtration
There it
system
is,
to
baby.
end all.
We just created a whole
That's the
filter
end of the
industry. You
problem.
You think
need
it's
more and
gonna-
more filters to hold this shit.
That's the end of the fucking.
I'm not saying it's good for
Capitalism,
the environment. Don't
baby.
get me wrong, but
Right.
Is it going to kill everybody? No. I'm
It
telling
could
you,
kill a
high,
whole entire town.
high energy costs
kill-
kill more people than anything else. Do you disagree with that statement?
High energy
High
costs?
energy costs.
I don't know,
When
man.
people
I
stop
don't
heating
know
their
enough.
homes, they die.
Stop having fuel in their
Or
cars.
I don't
air
know
conditioning their
where
homes.
That's. I don't know where that information is coming from.
I don't know. Where
I've
is that
spent
coming
some
from?
time
What he's saying
in an
is-
undisclosed
How many
location
people
that's
do you
very
think
hot.
coal in the air kills?
I'm still alive.
All this soot, nitric oxides, all these sulfoxides, acid rain.
Take it back further. Take it back to the beginning of man whenever you had to get fucking wood for your fire in one way or the other. It's
You're
the
a
same
dung.
thing.
People in Africa burn dung and wood. That kills you. All those noxious and that gas.
Well, think if you didn't have to spend your resources on collecting wood or buying wood or whatever your equivalent energy means is. Think about what that could go towards. That's what he's saying, basically. Is if you didn't have to spend all this money on energy, you could do so much more with it.
Have we though? That's the question.
No, not
cheap
yet.
energy has led to less human suffering than anything else, except capitalism
It's
itself.
cheap abundant energy is allowed
Cheap,
for.
abundant
I-
energy.
I don't-
Everything's
I don't think
based
so.
on
look
that.
Look at
I
the
agree with
wars
that.
we've started to get to cheap energy. I mean, here's the thing.
You think there's a what do you
Everything
think
is about us trying to get access to oil before using our fucking.
No shit. That's why we pay
excesses
$3
off
a
the
gallon
Gulf
here
of
versus
Mexico.
$8 over in Europe.
Exactly.
Well, all
I
that's
mean,
ended now.
Look, we
because
have a
now
whole bunch of oil in
Yeah,
Gulf
but
of
look what
Mexico.
happened. You're talking about the 70s. Now look what happened. Technology advanced. We have we have horizontal drilling, fracking.
Yeah.
We're the biggest producer of oil in the world.
Yeah, but
And we
fracking's
export
also
oil.
terrible.
We
Not
don't
only
have to
that,
worry about OPEC.
the amount of
or go to war
the
over
amount
it.
of invention that last the 70s oil crisis had, from making engines that are much more efficient and burning, for clean energy for longer
Sure.
or more gas. You could have, man, I'm talking like an asshole today.
Yeah.
No, you're
Or
right.
electric
Our emissions have gone down like
vehicles were,
30%
really
since
thought about.
1990.
There you go.
So
They're
what?
going down. We're burning more coal, but the
Apparently
emissions are going down.
Whatever. Emissions don't matter.
So what?
apparently,
That
right?
doesn't matter?
Didn't you
That's
say
what you're
emissions
saying.
don't matter? That's what
Emissions
you're
don't
saying.
matter.
Yeah.
Fuck the
So who cares
environment.
about
Remember,
making emissions
Armand?
I
better?
said you're not going to destroy the environment. How many people are you going to kill when you say you're screwing the environment up? I didn't say it's good for it,
If you
but our
fuck
emissions are
the
going down.
entire
Europe's are going
thing
up.
and it's a
How?
tightly.
But what do you
it's
mean?
an ecosystem. If you do, I mean, Okay, so if you fuck the entire environment up in the say the atmosphere goes, boom, that affects everybody and everything.
I'm aware of that, but that's not going to happen by
How-
burning coal. If you
How do
burned
you
all
know?
well, where did it come from in the first place?
That's
Well, you just make it. It's
Hey,
still carbon.
I'm not arguing
it's
because I
carbon
don't know
that's
why
already been on the
either.
earth.
But I'm asking you. I'm telling you because I
It's
don't know why. Why would how
That's
is
like
it
saying
impossible?
what happens if we get hit by a doomsday asteroid?
Oh, shit,
We're
what
all
happens?
dead.
That's not impossible though
That's
at all.
definitely
That's very
possible.
possible.
Okay, but what you're saying is impossible.
How?
Because if we burn all the coal that there is,
We know
you're
that
still
that's
not gonna
already
set the
bad.
atmosphere on fire or blow it up or
Or
it's not that toxic.
contaminated enough
No.
to none of if we burned all the coal and oil there was in this world.
Not the way they do it now. They sequester all those the CO2, not the CO2, but that too. But the real caustic agents, like
You
the
don't think
nitric
there's
oxides,
the,
the sulfoxides,
you really
and all
don't think
those.
there's the reason to allocate funds for renewable energies for
No.
like what for real? Like
Absolutely not.
oh my gosh,
None-
Armand,
no
you,
funds
you
at
act like
all.
there's
Agree
no
with you.
downside to those.
You
I
should,
have to
what about
disagree with you.
what if it's privatized? Like, say, do you have a
It's
problem
all
with GE
about
doing
cost
it?
But
benefit.
he doesn't
man.
realize,
It's
like I
always a
said,
cost
you'd have to
benefit
cover the
analysis.
whole Mojave Desert with solar cells to give energy to California.
No, that's not true at all.
No,
You,
no,
could
no.
cover- you could
Absolutely.
use
I
the
think that's
Sahara to provide the entire world with power easily.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Sahara
The
Desert. You know
Sahara
how big the
Desert.
Sahara Desert
It's
is?
all
Exactly.
northern Africa. But you were saying it would only supply California. I'm just saying you're wrong.
What, the Mojave Desert? The Mojave Desert not
Oh,
as
that-
big as the Sahara.
A good point. You're saying.
Armand, I'm just everything has a cost benefit analysis,
Right,
right?
exactly.
Absolutely. Here's the
Except
thing:
global warming.
We don't believe that the weight of the cost benefit for like discovering new alternative energy is not worth it. Like what you think, we think it's worth it. So I just think that like 500 years is not very long.
Well, he's only putting a monetary cost on. That's the only thing he values is the monetary cost.
Which is
I
ridiculous.
just realized that's the entire backing.
No,
Well,
it's
no, he
not.
says people are dying, but I just
I
don't
just
believe
told
people
you.
are
I
dying.
just told you about solar. You think
Germany or
solar
whatever.
power is so clean? You got to get all these rare earth elements to get the batteries for it.
Right.
How are you going to do that? Not with
Money.
solar power.
Ain't worth it.
No, you're going to.
Ain't worth it.
It's not worth it. Of course, it's not worth it.
Currently, yes,
And the grid
absolutely.
can't. The
Look,
grid
here's the
can't
thing.
handle it. Wind too.
Oh
Right.
fuck.
Here's the thing:
You got to totally
currently-
overhaul your grid.
Yes, absolutely. We got to totally overhaul.
Okay,
it.
that's no problem.
That's
okay.
that's the thing about
Stop burning coal and overhaul the grid.
What's that cost?
slowly.
A lot.
All we need is a giant fucking solar flare to send the EMP to catch the grid on fire, and then we're just redoing it anyway. Think about that.
That may
Look,
happen.
energy will be both coal and alternative for a very long time. It's like an emergence of it.
No,
it will be
won't.
both.
50 years, not even. You may. I won't see it, but you will.
Eventually, it will.
Eventually, not. It's not gonna take that long, T.
I think eventually it will become. I mean, what does eventually mean for you? 50 years? Eventually means 50 years.
eventually, I'll
for
be
me.
dead. You'll be alive. You'll see it.
It depends
I
on
may
the
not.
scenario.
Yeah,
'cause
I
when
just hope
say-
it all
Depends on how this
becomes,
conversation goes.
alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Because
show.
eventually it means like what I was talking about earlier. You pump all the oil in the entire world. Eventually you're gonna get to a spot. Not you, because you will be gone. But the people,
That's a
the
depressing
people
thought.
of this
Other
earth
people-
are gonna get to a point to where
Human
they can't
beings.
pump any more fucking oil. And you
Right.
know what I mean? It's gonna be.
It's the
game
same thing
over.
about Mars. Like, why the
Invest
fuck should we
in
back up
something.
our humanity now?
Why?
Get a backup.
I don't
plan.
believe your
Why?
logic.
Why
It's
pump
not
this
logical.
dirty black sludge out of the fucking ground when you can just put a goddamn windmill in a motherfucking what do you
It's
call it,
just
waterfall, and there it is, bing bang boom, power. You know what I mean? Why pump that shit? If you
What
can
about the
get-
fishes in that river, man?
I'm saying coal's acceptable. Coal and oil are acceptable substitutes until we can get this figured out. We should get
You
this
always-
figured out.
But the
and
wind
then
doesn't
quit.
always blow. You have to have a backup. Okay. First of all, like I said, you have to change the
I
whole
just
grid,
said it's
and
an
you have to have a
acceptable backup.
Geothermal is the only acceptable
Well,
means
what's the
of power.
point? You still need
Nuclear
coal.
is not
Because
that bad,
we need
actually.
to distance
It really is
ourselves
not.
from coal
I'm just
and
making an argument,
oil and
yeah.
make renewable energies.
Well,
we
windmills
need to
not the
invest in
windmills
that.
are not the way.
Okay, but we
There's
can't
other ways.
find the way without
But
investing
you're better
money
off
into that.
burning coal and oil and trying to make advances that way in science than hamstringing
Why,
yourself
when you
with
know
wind
that
power.
there's going to be an
No, hydropower
eventuality
is
of it
actually
never
fantastic.
being. You'll
Geothermal.
never.
Hydropower.
You know what I
is-
mean?
They
There's
always
an
said that, but
eventuality.
there always-
all
no,
the
there
oil's
always
going to be
is.
gone eventually.
Technology will
So you're
always find a
investing
way.
in something that's going to
Remember
be
when
done.
You weren't around. I remember in the
It's so political.
70s, they were telling us in school by the year 2000 there'd be hundreds of millions of people starving because there's not going to be enough food
There
to feed us.
is.
There is not.
I'm hungry
Hey,
every
man,
day.
you think
Yeah,
Sally
I know,
Struthers
you're
is
a
full of
pig.
shit? You think Sally Struthers is full of shit, Armand?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Sally Struthers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 50 cents
In
a
the
day.
arms of an angel.
Yeah.
Sally got
You
kind
know,
of
the
fat.
Sally
I
Struthers
don't know.
cover.
Well, there's just
We
people
need
starving all
your
over this
help.
planet, Armand.
Right.
If you
We
don't
need
believe
your
that,
help.
then that's
Wow,
way
wow,
different than
I mean,
global
Hooters
warming.
jumping all
Yeah,
over here.
You actually
Well.
do realize there are a lot of people starving around.
There are.
Yeah, but why is that? Not because there's not enough food. We're throwing food away. It's because they're living in countries where the dictator, we send it and
You
they
ain't wrong.
take it.
Look, I agree with you.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
political.
Yeah,
That's
he
not
ain't
wrong.
It's also because
Yeah, it's a tragedy, but it's not because there's not enough food.
It's also because there are extreme weather events that
No,
prevent
it
some
isn't.
people
That's
from
not
growing
true.
crops.
That is absolutely not true.
It's
I'm
true.
going to
Do
say
you
it
know
to
what's
you and
happening
Wilder,
in India?
too.
India?
That's not true.
That's happening in India right now.
What is?
There are extreme weather events, flooding and stuff like that, that prevent them from growing crops. It destroys hundreds of acres of land.
You'll have that.
Every
Hundreds
year.
of acres
what-
ain't shit, though, in the
Yeah, that's
needs
not-
of...
Not here in the Midwest, but we got millions of acres.
Yeah.
We be
Right, but
pumping corn
but
out
here's the
like
thing, the
goddamn
whole
They have a
world.
lot of people, and they need every spick of land they can get to
No,
grow
they don't.
food.
No, they don't.
They do. They have a lot of people.
Why do you
Thank
think they
you,
starve? They
Danielle.
don't.
I
They don't
appreciate
eat
that.
cows. There's a lot of other
Oh
problems.
my
It's not the
God.
weather. That's crazy.
But
You're
they're-
wrong. Wilder's wrong
they're
too.
act-
It's not the weather.
But they're actually.
Come on.
But
I don't
the
care
thing
how
is-
he pronounces his
but the
name.
thing
He's
is,
wrong too.
It's like Reddit, right? Pixar didn't happen. There are actually
That's a good point.
video footage of land that was never flooded before ever, that has gotten flooded recently in India.
So what?
So
What does
here's
that
the thing.
prove?
Look, I don't want to say global warming is the only sole
Oh shit, we still
factor
on
in,
that?
in creating that like flood or whatever, but that's what people
I
are saying right
blacked
now.
out.
That's the most obvious solution. That's the outcome reserve for us.
What's
Now,
the obvious
what-
solution? Stop burning coal so people can eat in India.
Land,
That seems pretty simple.
That makes sense.
Hey man, it's a stretch.
well, no,
but
it's
we're
not
getting
going
there.
to. It's not. It's
Have you
not
already
that
been-
simple.
I think you've
It's
already
not
Stay
that
with
simple.
me.
I
No,
think
no,
you've
no.
already been cryonically
Aliens.
preserved. I don't
It's
think I'm
not
talking to a
that-
human being.
It's not that simple.
talking to a frozen.
We can't
popsicle.
stop burning coal right now and expect some people are going to
No,
get fed
no,
all
we
of a
can't,
sudden.
but we need to invest.
We
in-
need to invest in the
Yes.
future. This is a
Invest how
long-term
much
holding.
and for what? Instead of
slow
what?
investment. Slow investment.
I
This is
say we
coming off
should
as good on
invest
the
in clean
podcast.
water.
Armand, you don't
I
have
should-
to
I think
invest.
too.
Okay,
I
we're
think
gonna
so
do that
as
too.
well.
Anything else?
We should definitely invest in clean water. We should definitely invest in like finding new antibacterial
Anything else?
Cryptocurrency.
antibiotics.
Cryptos?
Bitcoin.
We should
Uh-oh.
definitely invest in
It is a take
cryptocurrency.
your hat off
Absolutely.
a moment, ain't it? I'm
You
just
know?
fucking- I'm
But the thing
It's
is,
hot in here.
we have to make a change at some point.
No, we
because
don't.
because
That's a
coal
myth.
will run out. That's the thing.
It will.
I agree with you
So
on
will the
nuclear
sun.
energy.
In 5 billion years, the sun will
But
run out
that's
too.
5
Is that
billion.
logic?
Got you.
But
so
Yeah.
once we
Stupid
find
bitch.
clean injuries,
Deny that. but it will not turn into a black hole.
Hey,
505
but-
billion are
so-
very
but listen,
different
so
Are
numbers,
they
guys.
really? You're not going to be around. How the hell do you know?
So the sun is going to run. It's a very good point.
It's not
what
about
are we gonna
me,
do when that happens as a civilization? We're going to figure out a motherfucking way off the planet to another.
What do
one.
I care?
The
I'm not
same,
gonna be here.
That's my point. You have
Necessity
to
is the
think
mother
for
of
the
invention,
future.
Armand, right?
You have to think for what's going to happen.
He doesn't have children. Boom.
Armand, it's because your sperm don't work. That's why you're arguing for this whole thing.
I hope not. All right, what are we talking about here?
Oh man, that was
Martian canals? Let's
The
see,
government can control the weather. Wouldn't solar and wind be a good option for sustainable energy? That's what I said, Danielle.
Boom,
That's
yeah,
exactly
man.
what I
What is
said.
your blood pressure? I don't know. It's probably about 180 over 140 right now.
70 over 12.
But thanks for asking, Tim.
I'm about at a
I'll
120.
check it. But it's
And we have all kinds of little topics here that we
that we're
wanted
not
to
going
talk
to get
about.
to.
What's a
no,
Let's
let's
talk
philologist
about
on?
memory storage and retrieval. This is a great one. I like this topic here.
Well,
guys.
no, okay, this is part of the things that
Theseus
going
ship.
back to our
Are
main
you the
theme.
same?
Going back to the main theme of the show is science is a liar or science is a bitch.
Right.
Things that science have not figured out yet that we figured they should have figured out. So
Right.
memories and dreaming for one, like the inner workings of the brain. What's up, science?
Yeah, can we get a little help here on how
Yeah.
the fuck I remember things from when I was 3 years old in my head at night while my eyes are moving back and forth?
I'd like to say it's
fuck,
fine
What the fuck's
that I don't
going
get
on
it.
here?
I'd like to say it's fine that I don't get it because somebody out there gets it.
Right.
But nobody gets
But
it.
nobody gets it.
What's
That's
up,
it.
science?
What is this
I have
topic?
Dreams.
What happened?
How the what
Oh,
the fuck
dreams?
is a dream?
Well, no, how the
Come on.
brain
that
works in
episode.
general.
Right, but we're talking about it now. What is a dream?
It's
why
because
how
why
does your
doesn't science
brain,
know this yet?
Are you processing the day's information?
And the question is,
Are you
why do we
remembering-
dream? I mean, that's another
Right.
one.
What's the
Wh-
point?
What's the
What's
evolutionary
the point of
reason for dreaming?
Is it a defense mechanism? Are you processing all of the
But
information in your day?
That's not quite the subject, right? I mean, things that we're not talking about mysteries.
No,
we're talking
we're
about how
talking
science
about-
versus religion.
No,
Yeah.
we are talking about why.
A lot of things we
it's-
don't know.
Now we're talking about why science is a bitch. It's like, come on, science, get with it.
Okay,
Yeah,
science,
science,
is a bitch.
get with it. How have you not figured out what the fuck a dream is? You know, how,
Yeah. There's just lots of little things
Or
like
why?
why science? Why haven't you figured
Sure.
out why do we yawn? You know
Well,
what
look,
I mean?
like, okay, first of all, like, remember, were you guys taught that ulcers are caused by stress? I mean, I'd be
They
getting an ulcer,
are-
right?
They can be
Because-
made worse by stress. Yeah.
Well, that's not true. It's actually a bacteria that they got the Nobel Prize for.
So
in medical schools, I was taught
your
stress.
mood can't change the amount of acid your belly makes.
True, but you
then
can
fuck with your
tolerate
ulcers?
it. But people that have Heliobacter, I don't even remember what it is. A Heliobacter is they have a pylori, H. pylori, are much more prone to getting these ulcers.
Okay,
more
but
than stress.
Maybe they don't
Stress
give
is
you
one
the ulcers,
factor.
but maybe whatever
just
the
saying.
physiological condition is that starts an ulcer, that stress can exacerbate it to the point where it's a lot worse than it would have been. Would you concede that?
I'm not sure. I have to read the report again, but I mean,
Well,
you don't win the
pretty
Nobel
hot on it a
Prize.
second ago. Now you got to read the report.
Well, if you won the Nobel Prize, it's a
Yeah.
big deal. Nobody thought that a bacteria, though, would lead to ulcers. I'm just saying, a lot of things in medicine, a lot of things I was taught 30 years ago in medical school are not true anymore.
Armand, I
It's
got to say,
amazing.
that this whole episode, you've been coming out against science and their non-ability to, and how testing these hypotheses can't be done by the layman. What is it? No peer review.
No, but that is
done anymore.
testable. That's testable.
But all of your arguments are basically the same thing, but in reverse.
Okay.
Such as?
What do you mean?
You're taking a lot of stuff on faith too, from what other people say and what you read.
Such as?
Every argument you've made today. When was the last time you tested any of this stuff?
Give me an example of what?
In the laboratory.
Of any
Global
single
warming.
topic.
Okay,
CO2.
global. Okay, because they did. Okay, here they did an experiment.
They.
Man,
Who's
we were
they?
It's
quick. We were quick
reproducible
on
and
that.
it's falsified.
Did
You can do it too.
By who?
You can do it too.
Yeah, but
Okay,
why?
but
If we can do it, why don't you
Supposedly,
do
I
it?
could do everything
not
that
a
Einstein
scientist.
said.
Yeah.
Exactly my
Exactly,
point.
that's
I could
the point.
supposedly do anything
So
Einstein
you are
ever did.
taking
You could,
it
but
on
you haven't.
faith.
Faith. You're
That's
taking
exactly
the word for it.
Well,
You
wait a
haven't
minute.
tested
I'm
yourself.
gonna get you guys in. Okay, what do we trust and what don't? Oh, we only trust what
Nothing.
I've done myself.
Yes, I
Is
mean
that
that's what
is
at
that-
the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. When it comes to
That's not what I'm saying.
Me. That's who.
when it comes to something as important as something
Say
like global
say
warming
goodnight
that's
to the bad
affecting-
guy.
Exactly.
Right.
Does that make you good?
But here's the thing: when it comes to something so important and such a debatable
gone,
topic
dude.
like
Important.
global warming, why don't
see
you
that?
test it for yourself? Right?
Right.
What the hell? I'm not a
gone.
climatologist. There's no such thing as a
Oh
climatologist.
my god. Well, I'm just saying you should.
All
you
I can
should
do
at
is
least-
read all I can do is research and read, which
But
puts
it-
me ahead of you.
You look. I
You've
can
never
research.
read a paper in your life.
I could research and read the Bible all I want, but I can't meet the people who wrote it. Do you get
So
what
no,
I'm saying?
I'm not-
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not saying that there's no such thing as science. I'm just saying science, especially physics, is going the wrong way. A lot of what they're doing does not ascribe to the scientific method. The papers that I'm citing did. They're reproducible. And you just say, well, who are they? Well, Miratello,
they're
an
reproducible,
astrophysicist from Italy.
Here's the thing: if they are reproducible, you have savings, right? Why don't you get a scientist to reproduce them for you? Because that's important to you. Information like this should be
because it's not going
important.
to convince a numbskull like you anyway.
It will.
You won't even read
If-
the paper.
But
If-
hold on, he can make the
if I
same
read the
argument about the
paper-
the
But
papers
you don't
he's
have to
read.
get defensive
Hold on,
about
T, I got
this.
this.
I'm not
perfect
getting
defense
defensive. I'm
for
getting
you.
offensive.
He can make the.
I'm on the offense, man.
Calm down there, Armand. He can make the same argument about why don't. Oh fuck, man! Now I
What's
lost
the
my train of
argument?
thought. That.
I'd be willing to read
I would
contrary.
say-
If you have a contrary paper, please show it to me.
I don't want to give you a
I'd love
contrary
to read it.
paper.
Oh, that's
I
what it
want
is.
you to affirm.
You're asking him to
what
do
you
the same
believe.
thing. Why don't you do the same thing about global warming? Fuck, I'm out of here. See you guys later. My brain's done.
Oh my gosh.
What happened to him?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'm the one blowing over, and he's okay. What?
Anyway, I'm saying you should at least reaffirm your beliefs by
I do
reproducing
every day. I
but-
read new articles come out all the time. I
But
read them
they're
all on
articles,
both
though.
But
sides.
is it biased to? Oh, you read them on,
On both sides.
No. That's perfectly fine. I'm just saying, like,
What
why
else
not
can I
just
do? You want me to go out and go to Antarctica and do ice and go drill through the
Yes.
ice?
I'll
Get
go.
lost.
I'll go with
Why
you.
not? It's an
'Cause
adventure,
I'm not
and it would
qualified.
reaffirm.
I'll go with
You're
you.
not qualified. Here's the thing.
I'd like
You're
to
not
know.
qualified.
I'd rather get laid.
You're
But you're
not.
taking the word though.
You're not
my point.
qualified, but you can hire someone who is qualified.
I'm not going to hire. What the hell?
Why not?
But
Because
you
there are a lot of
expect them
qualified
to.
people. I'm reading their papers.
Thank
But
you, Trey.
Not to hire
It's
anybody.
it's a hypocrisy.
If I had, here's the thing: if I had money and you came to me with some study about global warming that's not real, I would immediately spend that money to go test that, because to me that's an important subject. That's something important that I want to either reaffirm or deny. I
it.
want to do the scientific.
Here's the
I
question.
want to be
Here's
a
the
part
question. If
of
someone
that
could,
process.
if someone could prove it in your face, if there was undeniable proof, would you change
Someone's
your mind?
already proved to me that it's undeniable that it's not true. They've already done it.
Okay,
that doesn't
well-
mean I stop reading.
Hang on,
but
calm
they
down,
proved
Armand.
that.
What
No.
I'm getting at is if somebody could prove to you without the shadow of doubt, get your mind to a place where this can actually happen.
That Jesus
and
was a
someone-
woman.
And someone brings to
Oh,
you
that's not what I'm talking about.
this hat and they show you like, hey, fucking look, and it's proof. Will you still believe it with undeniable
Sure.
proof in your
Of
face?
course. But that's absurdly hypothetical because it's already been proven to me with physical the equations.
The problem
that
is the
describe
proof
physics.
that it
it's
would
not
take.
true.
The proof that it would take to change his mind, he doesn't have the time nor the motivation to go all the way through to understand. I mean, at the end
So
of the day,
it's
that's
a
what he's saying.
confirmation bias.
That's an assertion. That's not
It's a
true.
confirmation bias.
I read papers on both sides.
You
the
read
ones
the
that say
papers,
that
but
it's
you
not
don't do the
But
experiments.
that's reaffirming what you. I mean, you're not looking at things objectively, obviously, right? I mean, because you are
say
so
there's a-
one-sided on the
There's
subject.
a bias, but it's because I've read so much
There you
that
go.
it's the preponderance of evidence is against it.
That's what. That's
It's the
That
same
just
thing
goes
on
like-
religious
that's
people,
like
though.
saying-
I've read
yeah,
so
here's
much
the
of the
thing, I've
Bible.
read so much of the
Well,
Bible.
I'm
That's-
not-
you can't just read. That's
science.
what
No,
I'm
it's
trying to
not.
say.
religion.
It is not, because what I've read are scientific papers, not just something that a bunch of Jews wrote or Saint Peter or Saint
But,
Saint Luke.
but here's the thing: do you know?
I'm telling you.
How do you know that these people are not
Well,
just
it's not the same thing.
How do you know that?
I'm doing all I can do. You don't do anything.
I understand.
Your teachers
Look,
told you something and you believe it.
exactly. Look,
Yeah, exactly.
let's be honest here. You're like 2 steps out of 5 steps. I'm like 1 step out of 5. I read sometimes. I'm not gonna go study this stuff. But the thing is, if you're gonna be so heated about it, I think if you're gonna debate global warming, you should at least take this like sort of what everyone else.
He's saying you
calls
need to launch a
pseudo-
weather balloon or two.
Yes, what everyone else calls pseudoscience from these doctors.
Nobody believes
you
it anyway.
should at least try to go.
Really? Oh yeah. You think a
Because you have the
podiatrist writes the
wherewithal to
paper?
do it.
No, I don't.
You have the wherewithal to do it. You want who wants to be a millionaire at least fucking once, man. You got something in your pocket to do this. We don't have the wherewithal to do it, but you have the social
Yeah.
responsibility
No,
to
I
go do
don't.
it
No,
and
I don't.
prove us
No,
wrong.
nobody believes
because
it
I would
anyway.
love nothing more for you to come back with data, having gone to the Arctic, being like, I found these cores, bro. I hired someone who's a professional, and I duplicated the results set by Dr. Robotas, whatever the fuck his face is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dr. Robotas.
If you
Where
came
you're
back,
at. I like where T's
if
at
you
on
did
this, I
that
gotta
with
say.
the wherewithal you had, I would suck your fucking dick because look,
Well,
you proved
never
me
mind, I
wrong.
don't
No,
like
thank
where
you.
You get what I'm
I
saying?
thought I was gonna
You
like
need
that.
to go
You did that on
reaffirm
purpose.
these beliefs
No,
because
I
I think
don't.
that's the
No,
most
I-
important
no, I
part
don't.
about the scientific
You'll never-
community.
what
Really? Okay.
I think
So
so.
you- that's
Duplicate the results.
Right. Okay. So.
It is so important to duplicate the results. You were talking to me about that earlier.
This has been a beautiful show. I don't even
You're-
care if it
you're-
doesn't turn out like we thought.
Oh man, this
Well,
is
first I
great.
got to go down and see what they're doing with all the coal, all the toxic chemicals from coal. I got to check that out first,
Incinerators.
and then I'll
Look,
go prove
yeah.
global warming's a hoax. Anything else you like? How about the death of the dinosaurs?
You don't have
want me
to-
to find the Chicxulub crater?
You don't
find
have
that
to.
too.
You
When's
don't
the
have
last
to
time-
prove global
When's
warming
the
is
last
false.
time you saw a fossil, Armand?
You don't have
I'm looking
to.
at one right now.
What
No,
about
no, no.
Atlantis? I'd like you to find Atlantis
I
if
can't
you're
believe
busy.
that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
No, you don't have to.
Go to
prove
Antarctica
global-
and prove it.
No, you don't. Why is that so stupid? Because
It's
that's
ridiculous on the face of it. You go to
Why?
Antarctica and prove it. It
I
does
will.
happen.
I absolutely.
Because I went on
will.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I got to go,
When
but
I-
you don't have the wherewithal.
When I have the wherewithal to do
Dumbass.
it, I
Write a
will
bill.
100% go
Yeah,
and
right.
do this. Actually,
I'm almost tempted to give you the
Because
money to go right
I
now.
will. If you give me the money, I will take the trip this year.
Okay.
with-
Don't come
I have
back.
A couple
But the
friends.
main
I have a
problem
couple
is
friends at Stanford who
we
are
don't know
who are
what
what
to
we call
test.
the scientists that you need who are qualified to do this.
Oh, really?
I would love to do this.
This is beautiful.
You can vet them with me. I will
Both
do this
sides.
with
This is
you.
what we and you
Venture
can't even.
scientist.
You think I'm actually
So in the
kidding,
middle here.
Armand? I will do this
I hope
with
you are,
you.
T, because I'm just kidding myself.
I am
That's
not.
crazy. That's crazy.
not crazy. That is what the scientific community needs.
All right, you got me. I'm not that interested in it. I don't
Why?
care. I don't care. I really don't care because I don't want to spend my money on it. I'd rather invest in Bank of America.
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
investment.
man,
I
that's
don't
so
know. Lately,
sad,
the
man.
banks aren't doing so
it's so
great.
sad to see someone as intelligent as you
Uh-oh.
to not want to go reaffirm these beliefs.
I don't want to.
We
I'm
don't
pretty
have to
intelligent.
prove global warming is wrong. We just have to prove
Eric,
one
Eric,
or two
you seem
stats.
to be getting a lot of sympathy from everybody. What do you think about this? Should I go to the Antarctic to prove to T that global warming
No.
Not
doesn't
to me.
exist?
Not to me.
Not to
no.
you. Well, I know that.
To
You'll never believe
everybody.
it.
To
everybody.
everybody.
I think
Look,
more
that makes sense.
importantly,
If you can validate
about the
something
death of
that the
science.
people that you read.
I think
If
more.
this debate is hinging on me going to Antarctica,
no, not at
No,
all.
it's somebody.
at
Somebody
all.
to go.
Not at
to
all.
go
The
Not at all.
reaffirmation of science as a religion. There's
Yes.
just different sects of science.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
So-
this is Catholicism versus Protestants.
So
you know what I mean?
So Armand, I think what he's saying is you believe so strongly in the subject that if you were to go to Antarctica
yes.
and come up with conclusive results to show to back what you are trying to prove here, and it came out and everything was great, it was glorious, and you proved it wrong. Can you imagine you wouldn't do that for T? You're really not doing it for anybody else. You're doing it internally to prove yourself
Yeah.
right.
That you know the truth 100%.
But that's not.
Do you get
but that's
what
not
I'm saying?
You don't have to. You're
wait,
not required to
okay,
go
wait
to
a minute.
Antarctica to make yourself to prove you to know yourself
Okay,
is
wait
right.
a minute.
You're
All right,
not
and here's my
required
counter to that. Okay, here's my first of all, I'm too stupid to do that because I don't don't know what to do in boring through ice and what a bubble is.
Right,
all
and
that.
that's what
But
that's
there are
I have
people
no
out there
idea.
who know it.
Motherfucker don't know what a bubble
It's
is.
so simple. It's so
Fucking
simple
air,
to
man.
find.
No, not
And
me.
you gotta
I mean,
find
people who
Goddamn.
go to school for it,
Goddamn, man.
specifically
Thank
go to
you.
college,
Okay.
get degrees to
But
try
I
to
do
do
know,
that.
I do know that
Well,
3
with
plus
time
3
wasting going on
equals 6. Okay, and I do know that some of these physical
checks
equations that
out.
these guys are using to tell me that CO2 is not a greenhouse effect because there are certain
It
physical
ain't that
laws
complicated, motherfucker.
Well,
Right.
which ones?
well, the ones in the paper. I'll show you the paper.
Well, one
No,
plus
I don't-
one
I'm not
equals
gonna
two
know
is-
anyways.
I can
I'm just
do
well,
asking
that's
this
what I'm
easy
saying. He
right
wants
now.
to send me to Antarctica.
I don't want to send
Fucker
you
wants
to
to send me to
Antarctica.
You want to
Antarctica,
send your
man.
buddies from Stanford to Antarctica on my dime.
Wherever,
Drop dead. I'll get a whore.
who else you want.
I get a hooker before I do
You
that.
can vet whoever you want. You can hire a hooker who also does that stuff, but she needs to
will.
be qualified to
He
do it.
will.
Someone we can all trust. The results that come out from
let's
it.
see.
Trustworthy.
Phrenology. T.
What do you think about
Let
phrenology?
me feel your head.
That's the new show, T and Armand living in together in a house like Real World. That'd be fucking great.
Look, I'm just.
I like the guy. I just
This
think
is
he's
the
way
beginning-
off on this one.
This is the beginning of the biggest scam ever. We started GoFundMe. We take the money and we just take
And
a
that's
trip
what
to
he's
Vegas.
saying. He's saying it's the biggest scam ever. The fucking
Absolutely it
global
is.
warming. You know,
You know, the only reason I get
I
that
say religion.
I just wish
You
he'd
say
see his
science
hypocrisy.
is,
I don't
say
get mad
religion
about
is.
religion, you know, because we discuss religion too, and I don't pop off like this. The reason being, religion, I don't care if you believe in Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, whatever
Right.
you are, but that's not costing me and a lot of other people a lot of money that could be better spent doing things that would help mankind. That's
Religion
what pissed me off
costs-
about this hoax. You're giving Al Gore $200 million.
I'm
The
not
pig
giving
is
a
living
shit.
like Midas.
Well,
I don't
dude,
like the
and
guy.
people, you were talking about people starving and people not having clean water
let
and
me
burning
tell you.
dung.
Do you know what
a myth.
televangelists are? Do you know what
Yeah.
televangelists are?
Is that your
you
argument?
know how much? No. You just said religion and stuff doesn't cost people's livelihoods.
Yeah, but that's
and- and-
voluntary.
and money.
Yeah, but that's voluntary.
No, that's
We're being
called conning.
taxed.
If you are conned,
It doesn't
if
matter.
If a con man came to con you out of your money, do you go, oh fuck it, you're just better than me in life?
No, I'm stupid. Then I'm stupid.
That you're stupid. I gave you your money and forget
yeah,
about it. You can have
but
my
it's
money.
different when the
Survival of the
government
fittest.
taxes
That's crazy,
you,
man.
and every gallon of gas you put in your car because of global warming.
You know, religions have like a whole
I'm not
different tax
defending
structure,
religion.
right?
I'm not
you know,
defending religion. Oh, that's a minuscule. We're spending $1 trillion a year
Science
on
should be
global
tax
warming.
free.
Science should be absolutely tax free.
Social
religion.
education.
Yeah,
It's a religion. It should be
it's a
tax free.
religion. It should be tax free. Absolutely.
Thanks, Tim. You're a good guy. I wish he was here instead of T. Can we get him in the studio?
We could. Hey, let me ask you guys
Get
a
him in the
little question
studio.
I had before the episode. We got no way to answer.
Yeah.
How the fuck is cold fusion useful? Everybody,
Yeah, cold fusion.
It's been the unicorn of science forever to find cold fusion, the secret for fusion at room temperature. But what fucking good is fusion if you can't get heat out of it? What-
For electricity.
for electricity and
I don't
energy.
think that's the point. I
Energy.
think the cold fusion supposedly at room temperature is supposed to yield heat.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how that to me disobeys the first and
What's the
second
fucking
laws
point?
of thermodynamics.
More heat is good. You're getting less heat per volume.
Well,
then.
it's saying the input energy is going to be less than output energy. That's the ultimate
regular
goal
fusion.
of trying to do. Right.
Well, I don't know, man. I just think cold fusion is kind of useless. Just saying. We can't answer it. We don't have the science for it.
We don't have.
We're not even going to look at what like your explanation for it. We're not even going to look at it. But just saying, cold fusion is useless.
Well, that's a good point though. I mean that's the problem with that particular experiment was unreproducible and falsifiable. Say, okay, you did it, do it again. They couldn't do it.
So here's an honest
That's
right,
question
yeah,
about
exactly.
Here's an
That's
honest question.
science.
Yes.
If
Right.
so,
Absolutely.
all
that's
these
science. That's
things.
why I just said to you, like it. We should try to duplicate it to either prove or disprove it.
Right.
all
Well, that's
these
what I'm saying about global
scientists
warming. You
can't-
can't falsify things. There's more hurricanes. Everything's attributed to global warming. That, by definition, is not falsifiable. Right?
Right. I'm
definition.
not talking about that. I'm just
I
talking
am.
about the data from the people that you've read. That's it. Small points.
We are so far off the mark for today.
Now, what are
I
we
know.
talking about now? The ether? Okay. The
Ether.
Nah, we'll just save this
Well, I
stuff
mean,
for
I'm
another
reading-
time. I'm feeling pretty much. I think we've covered all the argument we need for today.
No, man. What happens after death?
What happens? You want to have that argument? Why
There's
hasn't
gonna-
science
there's gonna
figured that out?
Yeah, why hasn't science figured that out? Like, what happens to us after, like, our bodies are clinically dead?
Because there's things like you can't create an experiment for.
Well, let me get down to the nub of it. Are you guys satisfied with what science has done so far? Or are we?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy
I'm
with
kind of not
it.
because
I like my laptop.
But didn't you think like 30 years
Agree.
ago we'd be on? We'd be going to Jupiter by
Hey, the
now.
long and short of it, Armand, you just got to take people for their word sometimes. If you want, cheap food and a laptop that works, you're just going to have to say, yeah, these guys got it figured out way better than I could. And at the end of the day, that's it.
No, here was something I proposed to Everett about science and it not being better, Armand, was just like this. So how are you going to tell me the pinnacle of our weapons technology, the nuclear bomb, we invented in the 1940s, and we haven't got any better?
At doing what?
At making the biggest fucking best bomb in the world. We still are new. Same thing we built in the 40s.
Well,
Same.
Yeah, but that's a matter of practicality. I mean, they can make bigger bombs. You just can't drop them from an airplane.
I told him that before the show.
Actually, nowadays, the nuclear weapons that we have are like 100 times.
Yeah, I said they're way more efficient.
That's not what I'm getting at. I'm going from arrow to fucking gun to nuclear weapon to how come in
you fucked up that analogy.
What do you want, a laser
It's going
now?
from propeller to jet to warp. You know, he's waiting for the next. He wants warp version of the atomic bombs.
I'm not even talking about it like that. Yeah,
he's like, where's our next technological plateau? Science is what you're asking.
and they expect us to believe that the pinnacle of weapons technology was made in the 40s, which is
just at a
75 years ago.
Well,
we're at the plateau before gasoline.
Why don't we have fucking
the plateau
lasers?
before electricity?
Why don't we have? We got railguns. That's cool. We're getting there. Electromagnetics. we're fucking getting there. But this is 70 years, and the best thing we got's a fucking.
We had
nuke.
70 million years.
So you're saying, so you're damning science because they haven't come up with a better weapon than nukes?
Yeah,
that's what he's doing.
That's an interesting, rant.
I'm just saying.
My rant is why are we?
For real, we
what
went
about
from
space
a
exploration?
Why don't we have smell-o-vision?
How come we can't go to Mars?
In 20
Look,
years,
it's all because of
we went to
politics
the
and
fucking
economics.
moon.
That's why we can't go to Mars right now.
Right.
Fucking moon
Yeah, but we already went to the moon
50
and we're not
years
going back.
Do you
That's
know
economics
why?
and
Do you know?
politics?
No,
You mean
well,
to tell me
absolutely
that's
is. The only reason we
about that.
pursued, the only reason we pursued space is because Russia was trying to do it first back then, and that's why we were trying to, the Sputnik.
money.
The Sputnik's
Right, but we
so
did it,
we
is what I'm
put
saying. We did
resources
it.
into trying to do that
Yeah,
because
but
we
that's
wanted
the
a
government.
space race.
I'll counter you that it's going to be economics and capitalism. It gets there. Elon Musk and those guys
Elon
that are doing
Musk
it
is
for profit
Jesus.
are going to do.
Elon Musk is literally
Well, if
Jesus.
anybody's going to get us there, it's going to be him,
he's
not
a
NASA.
capitalist
Exactly.
pig.
And who's it?
Elon Musk is definitely not a
Who's the other guy?
capitalist.
Branson.
yeah,
Gates
he's doing
too.
this shit
He's
for
got
free.
his-
PayPal he
Amazon
did out of
guy,
the-
Jeff Bezos.
If
has
there's
a
profit
blue
in it, we're
origin.
going to do it.
PayPal was done out of
Look,
the
he
kindness of
knows
his
how to
heart.
work within the system. That's why.
Yeah,
He knows
but
how to
gets-
work within the system.
Well, he's
He
getting a
knows
lot
how
of
to get to work.
subsidies too. He's government subsidized guy.
Of
You
course,
think
but
Tesla
he's
would
counting
even-
on that. But he's counting on that.
Well, I'm just saying,
to
guy's a
help build a better
visionary.
future. Yeah, of course. But he's putting all his pants out there. You can go create a Tesla today, and that's fine. He doesn't care. It's all open source.
But
He's sharing
all the
his
great
secrets.
advances are due to
It's
profit.
open source because nobody has the means to reproduce what he's doing.
No, I agree with you, Armand, on that.
It's
Absolutely.
if like Oreo, you have to have a magical oven to reproduce. I can give you the recipe all day long and not give a fuck. That's my point about Tesla. He can make it all open source, but I can't create a factory to make a Tesla.
True.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But here's the thing.
It's the same thing with science. I could give you all the answers to the life, the universe, and everything on paper. If you can't reproduce it, the fuck does it matter?
Yeah, that's very true.
That's what he's trying to say. Armand's
Exactly,
trying
and
to
I agree
say
with
money.
it. But he doesn't
Somebody's
realize he's
agreeing
doing
with
it
me
from the other
today?
side.
Money is the barrier to entry here.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, not the only barrier to entry.
money
Motivation.
and resource.
I'm not
people,
motivated enough to give a
personnel,
fuck.
People who know what the hell they're doing,
Yeah.
personnel who know.
How am I doing from the other side, though? What was that?
No, my thought is you're shitting on these people for not using scientific and method and whatnot, but you don't seem to realize all of your arguments are the exact same way because you're not taking the time yourself to go out and test these things. You're reading it off a paper that another person wrote and still shitting on the people who do that on the other side of your argument.
No.
That's my only point.
That's hypocrisy.
That's my point exactly. It's
Yeah.
hypocrisy.
No, okay, so I don't trust anybody that wrote a paper? What am I supposed to
No,
do unless
I'm
I
saying
trust it myself?
it's okay for you to do that, but it's not okay for the other side
No,
of the
but there's
people you're
a-
arguing
all
against
I'm
not
saying is
to
there's-
trust the paper.
There's a big difference between somebody saying, for instance, Venus is not a greenhouse effect because, and they prove because
You
the
can't
pressure.
get to Venus to test it one way or the other. You're just reading on what somebody else
but
thought
there's
of
still
and wrote.
thermodynamics. You don't agree with the laws of thermodynamics.
I do for the most
That-
part,
that-
but you can't. You
okay,
can't be
I'm
sure
not-
of the
I
conditions
can't-
that they're telling you
Science
to
is a
exist.
bitch. We already know that. We might have something wrong in thermodynamics, Armand. We already know science is a
So
bitch.
is all science a bitch
We
then?
don't know then. We're figuring this shit out as we go. Science is best guess, man. Period.
Well, I agree with that.
100%. Science is not fact. Science is best guess.
But you can do experiments on a lot of these things, and they have done them.
Yeah,
I haven't,
reproducible.
but they have, and if they're reproducible. And then let's get down to peer review. That's what I also want to talk about.
Let's
Which
talk
is
about it.
super important.
Yeah,
And almost
It's like a
impossible in
thesis
a
of
step that nobody
stupid
does
science.
anymore.
and it's fucked up. That's the problem
Yes,
with peer
it is a
review.
little. It is a little fucked up right now. Right now, specifically in the science community, peer review is a little.
Well,
fucked.
that's
the process. Is a
that's
little
the
fucked
death
up.
of science. Because you and I, well, we're not buddies, but
I don't
if
think
I
it's
have
the
a
death
buddy.
of science.
Not yet.
I think it's the death of reliability. I think
Absolutely.
and accountability.
Well, it's cynicism
These
too.
two
Nobody wants to
things-
believe anything.
Exactly, which is why it's important. it's
Holy
important
shit.
for
don't care about
laymen to start educating themselves and to go and try their best, especially if you have the wherewithal to go test that, because that fights against this system. It fights against the ridiculousness of peer review in the scientific community nowadays. If you can duplicate, then you can start your own process, which is why I've been trying to get you to do this. It's not out of stupidity, Armand.
No, but I think
Yeah.
that's
It's to
you're
fight the
going. I
man.
think you're going to the nth
It's what the
degree
Lutheran
there.
Church did for the Bible. Look, it's not through the priest. It's through us. You can connect with God too, if we're going to relate it to religion. We can also connect on an individualistic level with the scientific facts that
you
we
could
read.
call Neil deGrasse
We
Tyson
cannot
today.
rely on our scientists. We must rely on ourselves to peer check, to check them as best as we can. If we have to form
If you have the
coalitions
motivation
to
to do that,
we
do that.
should.
He might have the motivation. Maybe I have too, but I don't have the skill. I'm not.
Yeah, but then you're taking a leap of faith
But-
because of your lack of skill and or motivation that what you've read.
All I'm
You're
doing
putting
is
faith
all I'm-
that their skill is a
Yeah,
far
but I'm
above
forming
what
an
yours.
opinion. But my opinion, I think, is superior to his because I'm reading a lot
think?
more than he is. I'm not doing the experiments
We're never getting through.
myself.
But here's the
Never.
thing.
True.
Ever.
I think everybody needs to put the resources together. You may not have the research knowledge to go do an experiment like this, but there are people out there who
Look.
that you can vet.
Oh, come on. Now
But you
listen,
have
T,
the wherewithal.
wait a minute. Let me tell
You
I'm a
know?
doctor, okay? All right.
Yes.
I've
Great.
done hundreds of surgeries,
Great.
right? Okay? All right,
Sure.
I've done hundreds of surgeries.
Have
Now,
you really?
I don't do certain surgeries because in the past, I've read papers that said that surgery doesn't work. What do you want me to do? Test that surgery on somebody's foot and possibly
No,
well,
definitely
where,
do not.
where does it
That's
end?
what cadavers are for. What are you talking
No,
about?
that's what studies are for. Somebody else did it. It fucked somebody up. I don't do it. You got to trust somebody.
What if they just said it?
Yes.
They fucked it up.
Okay, right. So I got to do it on something. You want to? Yeah. I know
Don't-
bunionectomy doesn't work. You want me to
obviously-
try it on you?
Obviously,
No.
don't
Not me, but
hurt
somebody.
anyone doing a scientific experiment. This is just a hyperbole. There are cadavers for that. That's what
No,
medical
they're
students.
not.
They're medical students.
Because you don't know until they walk on it. What a cadaver. You don't know until they walk. They walk on it, and that surgery
Sure,
didn't work.
sure.
Because you walk on it. You
But
can't,
you-
cadaver's not the same.
But you
But-
trust that process,
Cryogenics.
that
we could do it.
review, because in the peer review within the medical field, it's a lot tighter, right?
I trust
There's
it
a
because
lot
the
less
guy said I
politics,
did it on
right?
70 patients. This was my success rate. This was it. Now, if you don't trust anything, I said, well, I got to do it myself.
And the beauty
Who can
of-
do that?
and
I got
the-
to trust what the guy said.
Of course. And the beauty of it is you can contact that guy, you can meet him.
No, these
and
are papers
also,
of 70, 80 years old. The guy might be dead by now.
That's
That's
true.
how medicine goes. How do you think medicine proceeds?
That's how science
But-
proceeds.
We're getting
Look
real
at-
circular
but
on
here-
this
here's
Well,
the
look
thing.
like
Here's the thing.
Semmelweis.
There are
The guy Semmelweis, you ever heard of this guy?
right.
He died in an asylum, okay? You know what he said? Before you
It's 3D.
you ever heard of puerperal fever?
No.
The infant women having babies in the 19th century, it was like a 40% death rate of the mother and
Yeah.
the child,
Yeah,
okay?
everybody knows
This
that.
guy said, "Hey, I
need
wash
to
my
see a
hands
paper.
before I deliver the baby." People thought he was nuts. That saved so many lives. He wrote a report on it, and people started believing him. This is my death
They
rate.
thought he was nuts.
Yeah, because what's that got to do with it? They didn't know what the hell was going on. But just washing your hands.
understand.
Yeah, but he wrote a paper on it, and people said, "Oh, the guy washes his hands. I'm going to do it too."
Novel
he
idea.
presented it to people, and they trusted it.
So
What about vaccines?
So
But
why
that's how
why
medicine
did,
proceeds.
But you just said he was nuts. So why would they? Have
No, that's
believed
what
the
they
paper?
said.
Huh?
They put him in an asylum. The guy died in an asylum.
So if he died in an asylum, but he presented a paper that everyone trusted, what
That
happened?
was
there?
after he was dead. They started using it.
I don't get why that's relevant, though. He died in
He's just saying you got to do it all yourself. That's what medicine's based on. Everybody else's experiments. I can't go back and start delivering babies with dirty hands to see if the guy's true or not.
I've seen movies.
Yeah, watch a movie.
I've seen movies.
I'm just
where that
saying it to
happens.
myself.
It just comes to where do you draw the line of what's worth peer review, and what's worth just taking on black and white face value. I don't know. At the end of the day, man, it's
But you have to trust something, though. I'm
Yeah,
just.
no,
But I mean, saying.
I agree. We have to trust something, but the peer
you don't have to
review has
answer
to
the
be
question.
challenged, especially in.
I don't
the,
have
in
a
the
problem with that.
scientific
That's my
and
point.
to, and to challenge it, you have to do it on your own. I think that's individualistic.
After I get back
data
from Antarctica
collection.
or before?
why
That's
not
up
on the
to you.
plane?
We'll
It's a
leave
long
that
dri-
to you.
a long
On the
flight.
plane.
Right,
There
on the
it
plane.
is.
Somewhere
It's a long
away.
flight.
On the dog sled.
And I don't think we have to go to Antarctica to go do this, right? You can probably conduct your own greenhouse gas, whatever experiment at home with
No,
models.
I'm
and stuff
not
like
intelligent
that. You can
enough.
definitely do that.
I'm not.
You
I got to read what
True,
somebody else
and
has
neither-
done and
neither
take his
am I.
word for it.
But that's literally
Or
what people
become
say about
part
religion.
of the peers and reproduce it. Become a peer.
Well, the problem with the peer review system apparently is
Review that shit.
everybody's buddies, and they've got this good old boy network that I do my paper, you do your paper.
The
and
good old boy scientist network.
Yeah.
same thing, and they
So how do you know that one of your good old boys, that the paper that you've trusted wasn't fucking a favor for
it's
another
possible.
buddy of
It's
his?
possible.
Did you just say you got to take somebody's word for it? You just have to. You got to take that leap of faith.
Regardless. in
Oh, that's not what he
science-
said.
We need to play that clip. From
I didn't say all science is
Dare I
is.
say.
Don't trust any science. I don't put words in my mouth. We're talking about.
All we're saying is science is a liar.
I was actually going to
sometimes.
say physics. The
Sometimes.
problem is like with string, what we were talking about before the show, string theory with having 11 different dimensions and multiverses
Yeah,
and making
you
everything
can't check
work.
that.
Right.
But
Those
at
are
the
not
end of the day,
reproducible.
believing in that is the same thing as believing in Jesus and the 12 apostles.
Well, exactly.
So-
But if it follows the scientific
Same
method,
thing with dark matter. Same thing with fucking cryonics. If you believe that might work, then in the future we might be able to figure that out. It's just one of those things that's it's non-falsifiable hypothesis.
that's why it's not accepted. Accepted by. But
And there's different levels of falsifiable too, Armand. And just because we can't test string theory, to me that's the same thing as I can't test global warming. Somebody can test it, but to me it's non-falsifiable.
I don't know if we have the instrumentation to test string theory. I
Well,
don't think anybody
exactly.
says
I don't
we
have
do.
the instrumentation to test global warming or whether or not fucking
Yeah, but there's
germs
certain
exist.
physical laws that are being flouted by that theory, right? If I have to fly to be able to prove something
Granted,
wrong,
there's
it's not working. It's not right.
You got me there.
If you got a planet that has, if we don't have any CO2 and we have a planet that has an atmosphere of sulfuric acid,
I guess it's down to what your
Well-
level of elementary intelligence is.
it's down to what we do know and what we don't know. But it's got to be false. It's got to ascribe to the scientific method. A lot of these things don't.
I'm with you there.
And peer review is not helping. That's the only
Yeah.
point I'm making.
including
Yeah.
the climate
'Cause
change hoaxers. Those
And there's
guys
other
are
things
just-
too. If
But
you go to a medical conference,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of guys going to get up there and say this stuff works on wounds. I mean, for wound healing or whatever.
Yeah.
Who did the study? The company that made the
Exactly.
damn,
Yeah.
all the time.
biogenic.
Those-
Look, all the time.
That's called a white
Wait,
paper.
why-
Yeah,
that's why
of
those
course.
people
Hard to
are
trust that.
Yeah,
called
of course.
salesmen in the doctor's office.
It's like
to
an
sell
ICO
you
for
on
cryptocurrency.
Well, that's my quibble with global warming. I'm saying a lot of these people get money for studying it. It's hard to say that they're objective. Just
Yeah.
like ExxonMobil, I'd say they might not be objective too because they've got a monetary
course.
right.
Yeah.
But don't tell me these scientists are completely. Oh, these guys
Conflict
are all
of
dedicated
interest.
to
No,
right.
no, we've never
Conflict
said
of
that.
interest.
I know. I'm not
I've
you.
never
You didn't
said
bring
that.
that up, but a
Yeah.
lot of people do. Because I
I
remember
did,
when
sure.
Barack Obama said, remember, the doctors would rather do an amputation for $1,000 or whatever than save a leg.
Oh.
Okay, well that's impugning doctors and medicine that people would do,
How
do
dare they.
unnecessary. Well, it may be true, but if you're going to say
So-
that, I can damn well. Global warming scientists may say, well, he may fudge his data to get another grant to do more studies.
Sure. But here's my question for you.
not
You're talking
pristine.
about peer review, right?
Yeah.
For the papers that you've read regarding global warming, are there peer reviews on that?
Yeah, they have to be because they were printed in science, geophysical science, and
Okay.
these magazines that have
Then
to have peer review.
why is your theory not the popular theory? If your theory's been peer reviewed and then the mainstream theory
It
has
is
been peer
among
reviewed.
people that really know what they're talking about, or at least half of the people. But I mean, what gets me is, don't you? What is the worst thing somebody can say? What is the most absurd thing somebody can say? The science is settled. What did I ask you to do yesterday? So don't take my word for it. Read up on it.
Yeah, of course.
I love that. That's great.
That's
Now, I don't
not
say
wrong.
go to
Absolutely.
Antarctica and do it
Word,
yourself, but read as much as you can
Yeah,
and
but
come
you
to
gotta
your own
reserve
conclusions.
the right to be wrong.
Of course. But
But
there's
settled science is that's an
I don't like settled
oxymoron.
science either.
There's no such thing.
I don't like settled science either, which is why I'm saying there's
But haven't you
There
heard
needs to
that
be-
said about global warming? The science is settled. I heard Obama say it.
right. But these are all the buzzwords
Just a
that
saying.
politicians
Yeah,
say.
it's just a
Yeah,
saying.
this is what they do to like sort of
Hey
garner
man,
constituents.
it's pretty much done with. It's pretty much all. Science is settled. Okay, we figured it out. That's all he's saying. He's an asshole. He didn't do none of the science. Obama can't say the science is settled and make it matter.
Well, nobody
Don't
can.
you talk about my Lord and Savior like that.
All right,
Is that science settled?
guys.
I don't know.
Guys, can we agree to disagree?
Maybe.
Well, what are we
Yeah, I
disagreeing
mean,
about first?
I don't think anyone's going to be
Exactly.
changing
Yeah, I
anyone's
don't know.
minds here.
Exactly.
All I'm going to do is offer papers
We've
that
had
I've
a nice,
read.
lively discussion today. That I
Are
don't
you
know
guys
what
gonna?
we-
Are you going to
what we
watch
got out of
Dr. Robitaille's Sky Scholar?
Yeah, I want to
or-
start checking out
okay.
Sky Scholar. Check him out on
Okay.
YouTube. We watched a few of his videos before the show. It's pretty good.
not bad.
It'll give you an argument
It's-
for something most of us take for granted.
I would
the black
definitely go
holes are a
watch
thing.
this.
Yeah,
But
check
would-
out Sky Scholar.
But-
yeah, absolutely.
So would you ascribe?
Not a
Why
paid
are there
endorsement.
why are there no refutations to the guy though? Wouldn't you think now? I don't know because I don't know much about YouTube.
I haven't looked.
But wouldn't you think that somebody would
I bet
post something that said, "Hey, this guy's a crackpot. Here's why."
Those comments probably on YouTube get downvoted to oblivion. You'll never see them anyway, though. To be
You're
fair.
saying
Okay.
there are no
I don't know.
refutation
I don't know
videos.
what happens to them.
There are no refutations videos for this guy.
Luar
None.
Zaragoza says Armand sounds sexy if he gets into
Oh,
it.
thank you very much.
Indeed. All right, are you guys ready to kill this
I think
one?
we can agree on that.
I totally am.
Yeah.
All right. This is going to be the quickest outro in the history of Surreal Talk. This has been Surreal Talk Division Lightamedia.fm. We do podcasts. Over.
Boom.
That's
Yeah,
it.
anybody else got anything? No, I can't leave it at that. That's
Armand says that he believes global warming now, and that's
Yeah. Well, if it'll save me a trip to Antarctica, okay.
He said-
all right. Yeah,
Gore
yeah.
Kachigi in 2020.
Oh, man.
yeah, there it is.
And Hillary for Secretary of State.
Yeah, there you
Or
go.
Yeah, there it is.
energy secretary.
Oh
Right
fuck.
there.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining
Cut
us
it out,
on this,
boys.
Don't
this
be profane.
Saturday for the podcast. We'll catch you all next week. Thanks.
Oh, these
I don't know about that one. I think we lost some listeners on that one.
We had more listeners listening at the end than at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So there's
My
that.
head go, waiting for me to explode.
This thing is.
You want to see
These
me have a
are
heart
so
attack?
uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're terrible.
These are terrible, man. You guys need to get.
Those headphones?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
they're fucked.
fucking atrocious.
That's why like you'll see me. I'll pull one
it
off my ear
hurts.
from time to time, or I'll cock them back down like this, or even just flat out take them off. Fuck it. Great show, guys. Trey says, "Thank you, Trey. I never thought there was going to be a fight. Well, Surreal Talk live from Africa or Antarctica.
Yeah, right.
Nice, GG. That was intense. It was a good one. Rate the show, guys, before you dip out. Rate the show real quick in the chat. Rate it.
17.
I get a 10. What does T get?
Oh, yeah. Rate the guest.
Rate the guests. Yeah. Rate the
Dude.
guests. Wait, what?
We're gonna get a whole bunch of racist people to rate on me, huh?
Yeah.
You gotta rate down big government,
There's
okay?
more people that hate Armenians
Bye.
than are Chinese.
Probably, yeah.
He doesn't
right.
look Armenian. He looks white.
That doesn't matter. He looks
Hey,
like you're racist.
You racist.
You're nasty.
Don't get nasty.
I resent that.
Oh,
Do
man.
not look white.
10 out of 10.
Oh, wow. Who gave us that?
I did.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Me too.
It's a good show, man.
Homegrown Hicks. Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, he's homegrown Hicks.
What does Wouters say? I mean, he didn't agree with me, but did he give? Oh, he did. Yeah, he wasn't on my side today.
No, he was
Pissed
not.
off with
Yeah.
your anti-global warming.
Yeah, and I said something about the German price of kilowatt hours.
Yeah.
And the I apologize for that. I'm sorry. That was.
All
I
right.
like the Jews.
I like your mustache.
I'm pro-Israel.
Fucking
I'm
Himmler.
pro-Israel. I want that specified. I'm pro-Israel.
Koch Jews in the bathroom.
You and Eric don't get along, and if you're pro-Israel, he is definitely not.
I know. We gotta have a Middle East.
He is not. He's not anti-Jew. He's just anti-Israel.
Over 9,000 for Grave Nines. 9, I said. Definitely a 10. Oh, Danielle gives it a 6. Danielle, why? Why a 6?
Because she wants me to be voted off.
Armand for 8. 10 for Armand. Dude, awesome show. T gets a 3. Are we going?
Of course, man.
Definitely,
I
you do
talked
whatever
about
you want.
impregnating white women on here.
we
So
still
So
is
on?
everybody.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're
Eric is
live.
still twinkly. Yeah.
Eric is still twinkly. What does that mean?
Does Armand have a place
a
he
long
just
story.
rants for hours online? They would watch it. You would get viewers if you just ranted for.
Making an offer.
No, they want you to just rant online for hours.
That's your new show.
Cool.
Pick a topic and rant on it. And furthermore, I got nothing. I felt kind of out of it today. I don't know.
Yeah, we
Take
pregame
a
too
little
hard.
break even.
I don't think that's what it was. I don't know. It was.
It was
You
that.
guys were so passionate, it just took me right out of it. I was kind of enjoying the show.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I caught that for a minute myself too. Whenever they were going back and forth, I was just kind
When
of
you
like,
knew I was gonna get pumped.
wow.
Yeah.
No,
came
I
here
was
a couple
being
days
serious,
ago.
man. Like when I do have the wherewithal, I will go and do these things because I think it's important to
Get
know
you a weather
yourself
balloon, pal.
100% inside your heart.
Get you a weather balloon.
But you can-
Why don't you
Oh
guys
my
get twin
God,
weather
just
balloons?
Stop fucking saying that because you can go get people who know
Oh,
what
it's
they're
still
doing.
on,
You can vet
people.
them.
We're just gonna leave the cameras rolling.
You don't like. Why is that such a big problem to vet people to go do tasks? I mean, that's what companies do all the time.
Actually prove something. You don't think people are
I'm
doing
not
this all the
proving
time? They do
anything.
it.
I'm doing
Well,
it for myself. I'm just gonna go. All the research the Democrats came with, all the research that I'm gonna go try to just replicate it. Why not?
Replicate
Why not?
what?
The experiments, whatever they're doing. You know? Why not? If
Why
you
not?
have the wherewithal, why not try to
Well,
like
because it's a
reaffirm
waste
for
of time and
yourself?
money. That's why not.
I don't think
And it
so,
won't
man.
prove anything to
Because
anyone.
to
Believe
die
me.
knowing whether you know something for sure is pretty important. To me.
Well, that's
Maybe
rather
not to
noble
you,
of
but to
I
me
just
it's
don't
important.
think that
To
a
me,
trip
that's
to
Would you-
Antarctica to look at
It's an
ice
adventure,
balls.
man.
Would you be behind spending entirely every ounce and every bit of money that you have to be able to prove to the world that global warming's a hoax?
No.
No?
You never
No,
do it.
that's a
You
waste
never
of
do
time
it.
and money. Why
No,
would you
I'm-
spend every
You
dollar
are
to
not
do
good
that?
at what if scenarios. You are not good at what if scenarios because you can't get
okay,
into the
all right.
what if.
So if I spent all the money I had,
Every
and
bit
then
of it,
I
and could
proved that it was
convince
a
the
hoax,
no. Would you
and
do
we
that?
Stop spending money.
Yeah.
I'd do it absolutely.
Heartbeat. Well, that's good because you're
I'd
thinking
shoot
about
myself
everybody.
If it saved, I might commit suicide if it was enough. I'd like burn myself like a Buddhist, in the Vietnam War.
Fuck that.
But it
There's an
wouldn't have
easier
that-
way to do it than that.
That's how strongly I feel about this. I
Really?
think it's killing people. I really do.
Wow.
That's why I get hot. What do I get hot about? I don't care about it.
Right, fair.
I don't get laid. I get pretty mad, but I can't do anything about that.
This has been good. We got to cut it down, boys.
They want more.
See you next week.
What else you want?
You guys have a good one. We're killing the show with still 20 people watching. Fuck it.
That's the best part of the show, and Marissa doesn't even see it.
Marissa doesn't even say
Hey, it's my girlfriend, man.
Okay, we're still live.
Okay.
That
Wow.
was fucking crazy. They don't know we're still live, but that
Them
went
two.
way off the rails.
Yeah, that kind of just got like a little crazy, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, that went. Oh, shh.
Okay,
They're
quiet.
still
They're
out there
coming
going.
back. They're coming back.
They're still going out there.
But
They
yeah,
come back,
they
we're gonna
were,
have to cut off here.
I agree with you.
Religion, that obviously
Yeah.
gets under your skin a little bit, and I don't blame you. Because that kills a lot of people, too.
Yeah, it sure does.
Okay, yeah. Shut the door. Shut the door. They're very fucking crazy. I don't know what was going on there, but it kind of got a little out of control for a while. We handled it. It was great. I thought we brought back some good points. Spend all the money to prove them wrong. and
Armand
become-
couldn't handle that whole. He didn't see it.
No, he
How could
did
you not see it?
No, he saw it. No, he saw it.
You think he saw his hypocrisy?
Yeah, but he couldn't.
He couldn't
He couldn't
admit
acknowledge
it?
it. There's
Oh,
no
okay.
fucking way. Obviously, that deep and that passionate into an argument, he saw it, and it's that right there is the confirmation bias. It was rejected completely out of his of the equation.
Wow, man, that was nuts.
Yeah, that sure was. That was cool.
Am I wrong though? Like he's doing the exact same thing the other side, where he's like arguing that you must test your shit, but he's saying I won't test mine.
And
'cause
then,
I
yeah,
can't.
but I don't have to test mine. You have to.
Mine
test
makes sense.
Yeah, and that's what T was trying to explain to him. Like you have to do the same thing if you're.
He's
telling
probably right on almost everything he says, but
Yeah.
he doesn't understand.
No, he doesn't get the level of hypocrisy. So it was good though. I enjoyed it, and we
The
had
passion
a
of the
crazy
podiatrist.
talk. Yeah,
All right, I guess I'll go ahead and kill the stream.
All
Thanks
right.
everybody for coming in.
yeah. We want to thank
It
everybody.
was way too hardcore for me, man. It kind of.
Ever got scared? He backed off in the
I don't
corner,
want to do
fetal
any four-man
position.
guest things anymore either. Definitely not those two together again.
No, God, no. We can't put these two together. We learned today that we cannot put these two together. So
They're still out there fighting.
they're-
Hold on, let me
they
open it.
are. Jesus Christ, they're
They're talking about staplers.
fucking loud too. A stapler or paper?
Hey, if you have a stapler, is what he started. It's
oh
just
my
like
God.
they're trying to get points across still.
I mean, we
Hold
can
on,
just
listen,
tell
hold on,
Armand to
listen,
hit
hold on.
end stream when they leave. They can do it on air. Oh, they're cussing at each other now.
They are still exactly where
Same
they left.
exact thing where they left off.
Holy
They're fucking
shit.
arguing in the hallway right now.
I wish I had a remote camera to go sneak around the corner right now.
Oh my God, that's so
Where's my cell
good.
phone? I might go sneak and just record this and throw it on the group here in a little bit.
Oh man.
I'll be right back.
See you guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll see how this goes. If we get a recording, we'll throw it on the group.
Yep, for sure. Wow.